strongest people that represent. Listen, there's one thing about flat Earth I've got to say. We're all of heliocentrism.
Well,
The only thing that's happened to some people is they've rejected it.
Well,
Hang on,
disagree.
yeah, mate.
So I mean,
wrong,
it does seem odd. Like you would think that the Ball Earthers would want to find and explore, overnight. But let me tell you something. There's a reason why these guys don't want to have it revealed overnight, right? You've got to look at it from this perspective, because the flat earthers, like us, the originals, whoever, this is a very small group, okay? So they would see that we have got it right and they have got it wrong. But if let's say, for example, these guys here discovered it overnight, and we already knew about it, like years in advance of these guys, they're still catching up. Now, do you really think they want to class us as like their Newton, their Einstein, their Eratosthenes? We would be those guys because we were the ones that were able to discover that it wasn't a bore. You see? So I think that's what they're worried about, is labeling someone like Merle, a great, like Sir Merle, Sir Rakia.
No.
Yeah, then I can tell people I knew Chemo and I knew Merle. I knew the guy that fucking discovered the Earth.
Well,
That'd be cool.
I can only.
They wouldn't want that, Merle, because they worked so hard for their PhDs and their degrees and all their education. For us to just come along like that and take it all away.
Yeah.
But think about that, Merle. Think about that.
Yeah, the Earth being flat or a globe makes no difference to the degrees I've taken, Chemo.
Well, can I just say for myself, I'm not looking for a Nobel Prize or a Sir Hood. I think we need to come together. I've always felt that. I think if I'm being extra honest, but if I'm being really honest, I think there's globe proponent who know there's problems with it, but it's too much to put your head on the chopping block. I think you got to give flat Earth a level of crazy.
I think we should put flat Earth on the chopping block and chop its head off once and for all. I think you're right.
Well, I mean, it takes a certain amount of courage to step forward as a flat earther, though, no?
I mean, not really, no. I think it takes more courage coming out as a racist, probably, than a flat earther. I mean, really.
You really think so?
That's funny.
I think so.
Are you a racist?
Yeah, I'm racist as fuck.
Are you racist as fuck?
He's very, very racist.
Very, yeah, but I get a pass because I don't come in here.
Well, are you racist against me?
No, you seem like Caucasian. I love my people. Anyways,
what the fuck?
What? You've never heard someone say they love their own people? Like, is that new to you? People say.
Why would I be your people?
He uses the Bible to promote his racism.
I use the Bible to what?
I said I don't use the Bible to support my racism. That's actually false.
Good.
Whoever said that, forgot your name, dude.
That's good because the Bible doesn't.
Well, it does if you're looking at Old Testament.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the whole. I'm looking at the whole Bible.
Right, the whole Catholic Bible, you mean?
No, I'm not looking at the Catholic Bible.
Catholics Bible. The Bible
I don't look at the Catholic Bible.
Together. Yeah, the Bible you
Hey, Bane, can you turn your mic
You don't know which Bible I use.
You're very quiet, Bane.
You probably use the Queen James version.
You wouldn't know what
Hey,
Bible I
Bane,
use,
can you turn your mic up a little bit? It's very, very quiet.
We can don't walk into this room and make assumptions, buddy. Lesson 1.
I came in here to shit talk this guy who said we all
Lesson 2. Don't F with me.
Like the focal point of this server.
Bane?
Bane, can you hear me?
Bro? I can hear
Your mic's a bit low. People are trying to get you to turn it up.
Yeah, can you turn your mic up there, Bane? It's very quiet.
And try to remember your NDA this time, okay? Don't violate your NDA.
Well, the good thing is if he accepts Caucasians, he's cool with his Indian brothers and his Arabic brothers.
So Bane, hold on. So what does your race say about the shape of the Earth?
As far as I've known, the Scottish people have not said anything on it, actually.
I'm Scottish. It's a globe.
Oh, you're talking about the Scottish race?
ethnicity, but yes.
Ah, he's joking. You see, guys, he's not really racist. He's having fun. But what
Sorry,
is?
I thought he was talking.
He
I
is
thought you meant the
racist.
No, I
human
really-
race.
The woman race, dude. You are saying
German. She said German.
I said,
Human race.
I said, excuse me. I said the human race.
Oh,
The
human. I thought you said
human
German.
race. Because
Oh,
we all bleed
it's
red,
not one
don't we?
race.
Or is your blood a different color to mine's, Bean?
Blue.
My blood is probably a different shape to your blood cells.
Oh, it's a different shape, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're on the ground bleeding, I'll
Look,
walk
I
past
don't
you and
have
just
time
kick
to
my
talk about
freaking rocks.
some washed up woman who's upset about my internet racism. I'm
You
here to
think
talk
I'm
about
washed
Earth.
up?
Hang on a second.
Oh my gosh.
Don't bite, Becky. Just chill. Bane, what did you want to say?
Well, I wanted to talk about what were these people that you were talking about that you said that are proponents of globe Earth but are too afraid to bring.
Your
their
mic
heads
is
around the
terrible,
topic.
Bane. I can't struggle to listen to you like this.
I can hear him.
Can you turn it
Yeah,
up?
but I was just asking.
you
I
go.
think I have it turned it up all the way
There
already.
you go. That's better.
I just did. I moved the slider to the right.
Yeah, G.
But you said something. You said that the.
So because
globe
I'm a
Earth
woman, I'm all
proponents-
washed up on Discord. But what about all these other old
God.
farts in this room?
Bane.
Yeah, you
Is
know
that
what,
okay for
only
the
old
guys to be
person-
older here and they're not washed up, or just because I'm a
Look,
chick?
Look, the only older person I like here is Curved. I think Curved is awesome, and maybe Gem sometimes.
So you're an ageist as well as a racist.
Herb, you got
I
a fan?
want to hear.
How do
I
you
really-
even like survive in this place? Like, how do you go outside? Like, does like people just offend you everywhere you go? Oh my god, it's
I
not
go
a young.
outside- Hang
on a sec.
It's not a young white person. Like, I'm so offended.
Hang on a sec, I'm in that age group too, Bane.
Yeah. Anyways.
So what were you saying, Bane?
Yeah, who were you talking about that were the
Isn't
globe
that a thing?
proponents that are afraid to bring their heads around the chopping block?
I think it's easier to keep your head down. I mean, you've got a globe cult, you've got groupthink, you've got
Yeah, but in what
NPCism.
way is it a cult though?
Well, it's a group.
Is it really a group? I mean, I don't pay membership or anything.
No, you don't.
Like, I'm just trying to understand in what way do you guys think we're a cult? Because there's no globe Earth. I go to church.
Subscribe to something that's pretty much a belief, right?
I don't. The only subscription I pay is Hulu and Crunchyroll.
Oh, he's such a cool white young
So,
guy.
Yeah, he's
So not
cool.
washed up.
That's what I pay in my subscriptions.
Becky, you're
I
not
don't
washed
really
up.
have any other subscriptions.
He's cool.
I'm just saying it's easier to keep your head down.
Yeah, but
You
when
c-
you say that the globe Earth is a cult, that means that like there's like a religion, there's like a god, there's rituals and practices, so I'm just trying to find where that is in the globe because I have not seen it.
Well, the globe cult, the ritual is materialism, money.
Is there a
That's the
pope?
god.
Is there a
The-
pope or like
yeah,
a
there's a
cardinal or
pope.
something?
Yeah,
Who's
there's a
the
pope.
Who's the globe
He's the
Earth
dude
pope?
in the Rome. He's the Roman dude.
Are you talking about the current pope? That the
Yeah.
current pope right now is the globe Earth.
Yeah, and what it says on the American
That's
money
interesting
in
because
God
I
we
don't-
trust.
I don't think that the current pope has said anything about the shape of the Earth throughout his entire tenure so far.
Hmm.
Like no pope has said anything about the shape of the Earth for like almost 100 years now.
What do you reckon he'd say if you asked him?
He probably wouldn't care, honestly.
Mhm,
I don't
that's
think.
fair.
I don't think.
That's a good answer.
I have a cardinal in my server, Eastern Orthodox guy, and they don't talk anything about the shape of the Earth either.
Mhm.
So
No, I
I
mean,
just failed to see the point you're making.
well, I mean, I used to be of it. I had a career. I went back to school. I bought into all the thing about ambition and not settling for mediocrity. I had money, and then it was like I wasn't happy. And then I started to pursue my art and my creativity, and it's difficult. You know, the world's not set up for people like me. But it's not about me. It's just a path I pursued, and I started to understand that if you want to get ahead in this world, you're better off just keeping your head down. And if you have to lie to get ahead, and if you have to cheat and you have to steal, that's condoned, because who cares, right? It's survival of the fittest. And a lot of people lie when they go to a job interview.
Like illegal in most countries.
But people lie to get their foot in the door, you know, like a job interview, or with a girl, they'll say what she wants to hear to get her into bed. It happens, man. Humans lie. It's just the way it goes.
Okay, but you're just saying obvious things now.
I know, but that's the way Earth is, and it's the globe, unfortunately, that promotes that.
Yeah, but if things come around and go around, wouldn't that just make sense for it to be round?
Well, let me flip it, because flat earthers lie too, and they make stupid claims, and
Yes,
and
I
they
catch
say
them in
things
lies
they
all the time.
right, and they say things they can't prove, and they make it look stupid. A lot of people like do that with style, and I'm aware of both. So
Yeah,
it's not just a globe Earth thing. But I think all we have to do is just figure out we're in quite a difficult, confusing situation, and if we all
So in what way does flat
put
Earth
our heads
help you?
together, we'll be cool.
In what way does flat Earth help you get ahead then?
Well, it doesn't. It's a much harder path.
Well, you deviated from what I had asked you, and you didn't answer my question at all.
Well, I'll do. Sorry, I apologize. But I'll dig in.
It's okay. You don't have to answer it because there is no.
No, go on, please.
That was just, in what way is the globe Earth a cult? That's my, my question still stands. I didn't really feel like you provided me a.
Okay, I really do. It's just my personal view. I think culture, it has the word in it. Now, I mean, I used to work for the media and in arts and entertainment, and a lot of look at hip hop. Look at what that's done to black people. There's a fake culture around being gangsters.
That I can.
So that's just one example of media manipulation and how powerful music is. But it extends into space, because Little Green Men on Mars was written about a long time ago in comic books, and in Walt Disney too. So this is pretty far-reaching.
Came up with Little Green Men, but okay.
Well, Melvin the Martian and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
I'm not too familiar with Disney stuff.
Move your mic again.
It just seems like the psyop was really ramped up after World War II, and we were all programmed to think a certain way and behave a certain way, and it's fully aware now. Like, eyes are open, and they're aware of it. They don't want a war. They just want their lives back. But if there's if there's got to be a war, like, I think it's being fought in places like this digitally, and I think the Illuminati are watching us. I do think that.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure they're right now.
No, but they don't have to do anything. Like, people. I've seen people defend the globe like it's their life that depends on it.
I mean, you kind of defend the flat Earth like your life depends on it. You're in here every day.
I have been recently. Yeah, I came away from it for a long time.
Every day for almost 3 years now.
Nah, no way, dude.
The same group of people that are active in here have been active in here for like 3 years now.
Yeah, but I haven't been in here for a while. But I hear you. I've been active, definitely. I think it's important. I mean, the last thing I'll say to you is, I think if people knew it was real and it wasn't a conspiracy theory, I think it would matter to more people. It's
I
just
don't
there's
think it
been a
would matter
big
at all.
YouTube push, like with things like Vsauce and other things to. Like you look on some of those videos, man. There's millions of views on that shit. This grabbed people's attention. The Earth question. Like it's worldwide, dude.
I thought it was dying down and getting less popular.
Well, if you
No,
check Google
it's-
Analytics, it's kind of like going
rumbling.
down.
Plus, you say
But
it's
it-
being suppressed too, so why would it be getting more popular if it's being suppressed?
It's more the fact that the question was asked in the first place, and people
the
came to
only-
it to suss it out.
I think the only thing flat earthers have going for them is maybe censorship, maybe that, but other than that, I don't think they have a leg to stand on, really.
Mhm.
How do you
not the
judge it's
first-
getting more popular though?
From the people I've spoken to in Australia, basically.
Oh, the same people you talk to about it?
No, I'm talking like everyday people in Australia.
So just
Off the
talking to
internet.
friends and people you meet.
Strangers,
what's
yeah.
that? What's that common beer over there called? It's called Bailey's, right? Or am I imagining that?
Yeah, you're imagining it.
Really? Bailey's isn't like a Australian typical average beer everywhere found?
No.
Damn, it's from somewhere. I heard somebody saying something about Bailey's the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey's is a creamer.
Bailey's is a creamer. Have you guys ever
Bailey's
seen
is
the
not a
have you seen the Mighty Boosh?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I was watching it.
Bailey's is a liqueur in my country.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's a liqueur.
Oh, it's a
creamer.
liquor.
It's what do you call it? A creamer.
You called it a creamer.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah,
not a
because
creamer
it's
liquor?
you use it as a creamer.
It's not for your coffee, is
Damn,
it?
Irish.
You put in your coffee.
Yeah, it's whiskey and cream, man.
No whiskey.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah,
whiskey in it.
I
It's
want to
Beer
go
Bailey's.
get me
thinking
one.
of
It
is
looks good.
probably Foster's.
Irish cream. Yeah, VB and Foster's is the Aussie beer drink.
Nobody's drinking Foster's around here.
But that's what he's probably referring to or thinking of.
I think Foster
Yeah,
sounds
well, he
about
should
right.
go get a bottle of Foster's and drink it.
Foster's being shit beer has nothing to do with whether or not that's what he's referring to.
Go buy yourself a bottle of Foster's, mate. You deserve it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like-
I will do that.
Like Bane, have you in all the time you've been around, have you seen nothing compelling in the flat Earth argument?
You know what? I've tried to stay as neutral as possible, and I have really not seen anything compelling. And I've been here for almost like observing for about 4 years now.
That's
3,
a
I
while.
think, really.
Yeah.
You old, washed out bastard.
I know. Since high school, I've been watching this channel. But you know, I used to hear compelling arguments when it came to optical stuff, but then when I started my career profession, I've started using optical instruments. I've noticed that, you know what, these guys are full of themselves.
What optical instrument do you use?
Well, according to NDA, I can't really answer that. But not ones that you use at your little construction sites, that's for sure.
Okay, so what optical instrument do you use? Because there's
Well,
not
I'm not-
many that are more than 32 times zoom. Even you're talking about surveying equipment or other optical?
No, I'm more talking about like things that more optical stuff that you put on your helmet, like HDRs and heads-up displays, things that use that type of optics. I can't get too much into it, but you know what? I have seen these other channels where they use theodolites over long distances and things like that, and a lot of these guys seem to actually know what they're using and know what they're talking about, whereas with Flat Earth, all I hear is, well, you're seeing through your eyeballs, therefore, you know, you can't trust anything you see, so just trust that it's flat. That's all I hear when it comes to like the optics argument. And I think that is really the only game that the flat Earth has.
Like, would you say that's weak?
I would. It sounded very compelling, like to me as an outsider, it was extremely compelling hearing it. But after I did my own research, as you guys love to say, do your own research, did that, and it just wasn't compelling anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're the kind of people that need to come to the forefront. Like, not to put you in the firing line. It's no consequences. But even if it wasn't you, it's almost like the main departments of whether it's physics or science or engineering. The question could be put to bed quite easily once and for all. Like, right? You can at least agree with that, right?
I mean, it has been put to bed like millions of times, but you guys just keep saying no.
Hey, sorry for cutting out. I got a phone call that cuts me out of here.
That's okay.
Can I continue with what if you answered what optical tools you've used?
He said he can't answer.
Oh, okay. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I really can't. But
yeah,
just
yeah.
because the
Well,
nature.
yeah, no problem. Yeah, that makes a little sense, I guess. Not really, but is it a surveying tool?
It's a tool used for viewing the Earth when you're hundreds of miles up in the sky in low Earth orbit. So.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so you said you're a churchgoer. Are you a Bible believer also?
Yes, of course. I'm a
So
churchgoer, so I don't see myself as being in two different cults.
No, I get you. I'm not.
Religions.
I have no.
But you're
desire to talk about
racist. You're a racist church attender. Is that
Can I
correct?
ask you
Yeah, is that
about
a
your
problem?
explanation of the firmament?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Jesus Christ is a part of that. Just saying.
So as a Bible
Yeah, well,
believer,
you
what's your
read
explanation of a firmament?
Protestant nonsense about Christ, so you believe in heresy.
I read the Bible, mate. So if you want to call the Bible nonsense, go ahead, Bane. Go ahead.
You're a
Miss
sola
Becky, if you don't
scriptura.
mind, can
Yeah,
I
Becky,
ask you
can
your
you-
explanation of the
heretic.
firmament as you're a Bible believer? Like, because we all have different takes on it, right? I'd like to hear yours.
I'm not here to talk about firmaments. That
Yeah,
doesn't
you don't
even
seem to
exist.
want to talk about anything.
Firmament doesn't even exist. You hang on this like as if this is like your ultimate trump card, but it's really not. It's
So you don't.
unproven nonsense.
Which parts of the Bible do you believe in? Do you want to talk about that?
The only parts of the Bible that are worth believing in is the Catechism and the New Testament.
So what gives you the right to choose which parts are like what I should believe in and or you should believe in and
Well, I didn't
like,
make that choice. The church did.
the church made the choice of which part of the Bible is true or not?
Yeah, the Church of St. Peter.
Yeah, so maybe you should check your salvation because the church doesn't give you salvation. Your belief
Well, how
and
do
your
you-
faith
church
how do
in
you
doesn't
do
say
the
that.
word of God does.
Well,
How do you
the
do
church
it?
doesn't
How
say
do
that
you
the
do it,
church
Ricky, yeah?
gives salvation. So you're wrong there.
How do
The
you do
church
it,
gives
Ricky?
you
How do you pick
salvation?
and choose?
No, it doesn't, you fool. Can you not hear me?
How do you pick
Yeah,
and choose,
someone was
Rakia?
talking over us as we were having a conversation. I
Rakia, how
didn't
do
hear
you
it. I
answer
must
that
not have
question
heard.
yourself? How do you answer that question yourself? How do you pick and choose what you believe in the Bible?
Thank you, Uncle Scott.
I'm
But-
just
but
curious.
at
How
this-
do you do it, Rakia? Hold on. I want to hear Rakia's answer. You do that, right, Rakia?
I mean that's one of the problems with this because the Bible's not going to bring the answers the non-believers require. Whether it is biblical or not, that's not good enough for some people that it's being written in a book.
Yeah, plus if there's religious talk, there's a religious voice channels in here, and we should just keep this to the debate, like not bring religion too much into this voice chat.
That's all right. They're only staring. You can speak freely in here.
Hey, Bane, were you implying that you've been low Earth orbit? Are you saying that?
No, things we work on enter low Earth orbit.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Liar,
Another thing
liar,
about
pants on
that-
fire.
The only thing about that is the Big Bang came from the Kabbalah and other religious philosophical traditions. So that kind of cuts off the discussion below the level that it needs to be at for there to be fruitful discussion about the facts. Now, we
Which
don't
book
need
of
to
the
necessarily
Kabbalah
go
does
into
the
religious
Big Bang
dogma
happen
and
at?
doctrine, but it does help to talk about the basis of these beliefs, whether we're willing to believe that it is, say, specially created, flat, and covered by a dome, and or a random materialistic accident.
Well, I mean, I've been in churches and listened to pastors and priests here, and not once have I heard a sermon about flat Earth.
Because it doesn't matter. I think. I mean, religiously, flat Earth doesn't matter. Like,
It shows
anyway,
more
what
obvious
book of
proof of
the
evolution.
what book of the Kabbalah does it talk about the Big Bang?
Those are some thick ass books. I've heard the
Yes, I have the almost 700 books of the Kabbalah. Which book?
I'm pretty sure it's book 612 that talks about the Big Bang.
So we do have some religious religion here, but it certainly ain't Christian, or it ain't the biblical one. Let's just say that.
Okay, when you mean biblical, do you mean modern biblical or do you mean like historical biblical?
Or historical modern, or modern historical, or tragical comedy historical, or historical serial comedy.
The
Or
narrative.
revised modern historical version.
Well, the narrative of Christ is in there, and there are secular sources that appear to refer to this dude, whether you believe his miraculous miracle claims or not. So it does appear that Christianity does have historical elements in it through Jesus Christ.
Yes, history was definitely shaped by Christianity.
Why don't we just crack open the Bible and just start reading some verses, Lemon? I mean, if we're going to convert them, you may as well give them a service. A proper service.
And the devil said to him with wrath that his number was a human number.
Let's have a Bible study, Lemon. Give them some study. Don't just let's go Bible precept upon precept, right?
Okay.
Only about the shape of the earth.
You should go down to the Bible room to do that, though. Okay.
Well, God did make it, and He did say that it was flat. So that's why His narrative has more power than a bunch of scientists assuming uniformitarianism, assuming that things now are the same as they were in the past, and trying to make guesses and extrapolations toward the past.
Uniformitarianism?
Yeah.
That sounds like a heresy.
It's the belief in science that everything acts uniform in nature throughout all time. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to go past and extrapolate stuff like a Big Bang or whatever the heck they're trying to go with.
Yeah, I don't think they actually say Big Bang, but like you guys are so scared of like globe stuff, but honestly, even with my
Okay,
job,
so
I
just
rarely
repeat
see,
there, Bane.
like,
Our
globe
Father,
type stuff.
who art in heaven.
Who art in
Why are
heaven?
you interrupting him, Chemo? Why are you interrupting him?
Are we not having a Bible discussion?
No, he was in the middle of
We
a
can do that in a
Chemo.
Bible channel. I don't mind
Well-
going to a Bible channel and talking religion one-on-one with you.
Well, Bane, can I just say to you, as somebody who's a globe skeptic, there's no fear in me. If the globe is real, it will become apparent.
Yeah, I don't fear
The
anything.
globe is real.
Yeah, it'll only become apparent to you when you like open your eyes to it and become awake. But for now, you're still sleeping. So keep napping, bro.
But many flat earthers were
Just-
globers,
I-
so
I-
it looks like
hang on a
they
second.
were awake and then they went to sleep when they
Yes.
became flat earthers.
Hang on a
Happens all the
second.
time.
Hang on a
Happens all the
second.
time.
Being awake is realizing that heliocentrism.
Can we just agree that saying that
stands-
stuff like that is like cringy? Like, oh, I'm woke, bro. Like,
I'm not saying I'm woke.
That's
I'm
so
just
cringy.
saying that heliocentrism, the linchpin, is gravity.
Yes, gravity.
Okay.
And I'm not
And
sure
one-
what Bible your church is pushing, but I don't think any of them are heliocentric. Most of them are geocentric, where the Earth is the center,
I
very
think-
special
I
place.
think all the major
We
religions
we
on Earth
read
are
like the normal
heliocentric.
Bible, like the Septuagint.
Hold on.
I think you should read
David,
King James
Ellie,
Bible.
or Jane?
King
But
James.
Bane, can I just say one last thing to you, and then I'll shush?
No,
Like-
no, you can't say one last thing to me.
Well,
What you're
whatever,
asking, so-
whatever's up there, right? Satellite, I mean.
Right.
Is it geostationary orbit? Is it Satelloon? Is it camera on a balloon? Like, what are we talking here? Is that classified? Is that classified, Bane?
The optics that you use and how altitude is that classified?
Is that
Do you
obtuse?
have clearance?
What are you asking here, Merle? What's
They
up?
want me to break my NDA.
That we're not going to be like punked.
They want me to break my
Punked about
NDA.
what? Punked about what?
No, we
Being
want you to be
pranked.
honest. It doesn't
Punked
sound
They
and
like
want me to
pranked.
break my NDA, bro. I'm not gonna do
It's
that.
not that hard to believe, you guys. It's not like he's
You
saying
don't have
he went,
one.
like, he went to Mars.
I have one.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Mel,
Post
Mel,
the
what are you
formula
asking
for
here?
post the formula for getting a rocket to Mars, please.
I'm feeding my cats
What are
right
you
now,
talking
so
about, dude?
maybe after.
Also, I need the size of the radius of Earth and how you measured it, because you
It's
can't
easy
do
to
I
measure
anything
didn't do
without
any of
R.
those things. I didn't claim to do
There's
any
like
of those
5
things.
different
They're just
ways.
Oh,
putting words
well,
in my mouth.
you know how R was how you get R?
Yeah, look,
You
I
can
don't
get R a
care
bunch of
about
different
R.
ways.
Oh, you should.
As far as I know,
One
it's
way
just
you would get R is you get the circumference.
You
get
get
the
R
circumference.
about 14 different ways, dude, and you can mutually confirm.
I wasn't
Is-
talking to you.
Is
Yeah, but
satellite
you.
is satellite stuff like Fight Club? Like you can't talk about it? Is that how it works?
What's the
Dude,
question about
he says
satellite, Merle?
why do you guys care so much? If he says he can't talk about it, he can't talk about it. Who cares why?
Well,
you guys don't
What,
respect.
what a
basic
pussy
things.
sticking up for him.
I mean,
God, you guys are
He's
such
my uncle,
babies.
first of all, and
Drop
second
it.
of all, you guys are babies.
nah, we're not babies. We just
I mean,
know it's
kind of.
bullshit.
Then why are you
But you
crying
see,
to me?
but you don't know that. It's not even that hard to believe. And it's like, who
Yeah.
cares?
Why do they cut to CGI, Veach?
Not that
They
hard
don't
to
cut to
believe
CGI. What
that
are you
a
talking
random
about?
Yes, they
dude on
do.
voice chat is saying
Of course
it
they cut to
When
CGI.
they
because
cut
I'm
to
not
CGI.
random. I've
can't
been here
talk
for
about
quite
it 'cause
some
he has
time.
special clearance.
I've been here for
Yeah,
some
you guys,
time, and I've
look
talked
at
to
real images and
everybody.
call it CGI arbitrarily.
No.
A lot
You
of
know the
special
difference.
people here at gyms. A lot of special people here at gyms.
I mean, the same like.
It's just not that hard. The evidence is overwhelming. If you guys look at it objectively, you'd see that, but you don't ever look objectively.
Yeah, but they're just cartoon CGIs. We know what they're doing. We've been told by
But they're
NASA
not
they're
just
CGIs.
That's not
So
true.
even
You
when
know
they
it.
tell you this is
Even
a
that's just
cartoon
dishonest.
CGI, you believe it's not a cartoon
No,
CGI?
if they
Yeah,
say
but you
that-
believe
if
it's
they
a
say
cartoon
that, I believe
CGI,
them, but
even
they
when
don't
they
say that about
say
everything, do
that.
they?
Even when
They don't say that about everything.
They don't
They only
say
that
it's
about very
not.
specific things, and on those things they are CGI, but on not everything is not CGI. It's not that hard, guys.
When is it
that
not?
hard, fellas.
It's not that hard to create CGI. You are correct.
When is it not CGI?
But it is hard for you to be honest, it seems like, because what I said was it's not that hard to understand that some of it is CGI and some of it is not. And if they
Why
tell
do
you
they need
it's I
CGI at
believe
all?
them. And if it's not, because sometimes they want to show us, say, an
Where do
artist
they use
rendering,
CGI?
or
Show me where
sometimes they want to show
SpaceX
us
has
what it
used
would
CGI.
look like if we were there, or sometimes they want to show us colors that they can't get because they were using black and
Huh?
white.
Just
Who
take a
knows? There's lots of
picture.
different reasons.
Show me where
Colors.
SpaceX
Use
has
color
used
film.
CGI.
Take a
Use
normal
color film
picture,
if
yeah.
You want to process color.
It's like if you take a picture of a mountain.
guys
Oh,
are-
we've
I
got to
can't hear what you
CGI
guys
the
are
mountain
triggering
so
over
it
each
looks
other.
more enhanced.
Where
One
has
of you guys is going to have to stop
SpaceX
being triggered
used
so the other one can
CGI?
talk.
When has SpaceX used CGI?
Every time.
Yeah, like, that's just not
Well,
true.
can you show me?
assert that, but it's not true.
Well, let's have a look
I
at
would
something
love-
real
I
then,
don't-
so we can
I
analyze.
don't have all my
Can you
stuff
prove?
in
Can you
this
prove to
computer.
me that they used that SpaceX
course
has
you
used
can.
CGI?
Yeah,
Of course.
Go
You
ahead.
can prove it. Okay, well
Go
prove
ahead, do
it.
it.
Go ahead.
they,
I'll wait.
they've got rockets to land themselves.
Yes.
That's
not that hard.
CGI.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, are you
Why
gonna
is
have
that
any proof for it?
CGI?
Let's see some proof.
You don't
Let's see
think
it.
Because
You can't
rockets
argue
don't
it.
fucking land themselves, idiot. That's why it's CGI.
Who says
Guess
they
what?
land
They
themselves?
do.
Who says
They
they land
do.
themselves? They have like a
So
whole
dumb.
team
Cars
behind
fly
them.
themselves too. In a news flash, I don't know if you've heard this or not. Drones can fly themselves. Drones can land themselves. It's not that fucking hard.
That's
You
a
can buy a
helicopter,
rocket
not a
off
rocket.
Amazon for $100 that will land itself, dude. And you think they can't do that? Give me a break.
Yeah, you can't compare a
Yes,
helicopter
I
to
think
a
they
rocket.
cannot land a stick straight up in the air.
They can.
Well,
It's
it's
not
not
that
a
hard.
stick, first of all. It's a weighted
so
object.
weird. Like, what makes you think that's so
You
impossible?
saying, you saying a stick's not a weighted object?
Bomb truth bomb.
What
Talking
makes you
about
think
how
that's so
fake space
impossible?
is.
What's
A
hard about
stick,
that to you?
stick don't even weigh a pound.
I put the
What's hard
video
about
in
that
the
to you?
chat. It's from Angie Z. I'm under Moorcock Man. It's Angie Z's video talking about all the fakery from space. Space is
What do you
fake.
think is hard about
You're
landing a
just
rocket?
saying words that don't mean anything.
Like, seriously. It's just not that hard. I don't get why you guys think these things. And you never actually have arguments. You just spit rhetoric.
Reach,
Have you seen it?
You've been
Have you
deceived. Why, Reach? Why is it that all these people here can see it, but you can't see it?
Well,
What do you mean all these people? There's only 3 of you guys here.
Argument
They're
other
not
than
all
just
these
assert
people.
this. Why can't they say, "Oh, here's why that's impossible," or "Here's what would go wrong," or "Here's why I think that they couldn't really pull this off"? They don't ever have any of that. They just say, "You can't do that."
Have you seen it, Veach?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I've seen them all.
You've seen a rocket land themselves.
Yes.
You've been standing there and it's been happen right in front of you.
No. I've seen the videos. I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Okay.
You know what? When
Stanley Kubrick makes
when
videos
fighter
too.
jets,
Like, what do you
Used to.
think
when
is
fighter
hard
jets
about
You
were
thought
having
about
vertical
saying
lift
yes
off,
for a
don't get it.
second,
people were
Mel.
saying the same thing.
Oh no.
People were saying,
What do
how
you
can a
think is
fighter
hard
jet
about
take
landing
off
a rocket
vertically?
like that? Like, genuinely, I'm really curious.
Respect,
to hear what is
Veach.
the
That was a
engineering
nice
problem that you
bail.
think-
Nice
What is
bail.
the engineering problem that you think is insurmountable there? I mean, you guys have nothing to say about that. Like, listen to yourself. You're just dead silent.
Not panicking,
Dead
Veach. If it's
silent.
real, it's real, and if it's not, then just deal with it.
I'm just saying it's very telling that they'll assert something like that, and then when someone asks a very simple question, a very obvious question, like, why do you think that? They have nothing to say ever.
Not realistic. You know what realistic stuff looks like, yeah?
But why is it not realistic? What is the engineering problem that
The
would be
colours
hard
are
to
off, the
overcome?
painting is
what
off.
goes wrong?
It's not accurate to real world.
Clouds are
What
missing in
goes
one
wrong if
shot,
you try
then
to
they're
make
there
a
the
cloud that will
next.
land itself?
You've
Oh,
got
really?
double
There's clouds that
Beach,
disappear
you have multiple
after
clouds.
one frame in the SpaceX.
Absolutely.
So it's not natural, Veach.
Really? Okay,
when you
show
look
it.
at that, you don't feel...
Link it to me.
Well, that doesn't look like a real world picture.
Link me a whole cloud disappearing after one frame.
Beach,
in
can you
any
respond to
SpaceX
that? The
video.
clouds missing, the duplicate
I
clouds.
can't hear you, Kimo. You're talking over people. I can't understand you. So 3 people talking.
No, I'm asking you a question.
Well, I couldn't hear you because you were over talking people.
Well, the question is
Go
that
ahead,
you're saying that there's usually no response as to why, what's wrong with the pictures, and we're telling you that it doesn't look realistic. There are multiple clouds. There are errors you can find
I'm
all
saying-
over the place.
My question was not my question. My question was, why is it that you guys think you couldn't have a drone or a rocket land and stuff like that? In a world in 2021 when we have self-driving cars, we have drones that will land themselves that you can buy for $100 off Amazon. Why do you think that they couldn't do that? What's
There's
insurmountable about that?
semi-trucks that already drive themselves in the United States.
Yeah, there's Teslas that drive themselves.
I mean, come on.
It's just not that hard of an engineering problem. There's things that we do that are amazing. That's just not one of them.
Sure, Veach, sure.
I mean, look, that's the best you have is to say, well, I believe that it's hard. I don't have any good reasons for that. I have no actual arguments, but I'm just going to keep asserting it.
But you know what you'll find when you look up the automated cars?
What?
No CGI.
Exactly.
Well, can you prove,
That's true.
You said you could prove to me.
Awesome.
You said you could
Amazing.
prove to me that that's CGI, but you haven't done that
Incredible.
yet, have you?
The evidence is in front of your face. Even Kimo showed that
This
video
guy-
where
This
the
guy said
If you guys
one
have
of these
proved
guys.
it's CGI, I believe it.
One of these guys said that he can show a cloud disappearing after one frame in the SpaceX video. I'm still waiting on that.
Okay, let's see it.
There's also the one where Earth totally disappears like it's a screen. Kimo
Oh, yes.
showed that
In
a couple
SpaceX
weeks
video.
ago.
Yeah, that's CGI. So Veach, that's CGI where the Earth just disappears.
Yeah,
see
can
it.
you look at
Let's see
CGI?
it.
Like, where's the video? You're
Oh
just
wait, is
saying
that the
there's
one
these
where
videos,
you
but you
pans
haven't
one
actually
way and then
posted
pans
them.
back the other way? I remember this one. Yeah, we debunked this completely and wholly, and you even at the time admitted it and said, "Okay, I guess that one doesn't work."
How was it
How do you
debunk?
pretend like you didn't do that?
Debunk.
Not a debunk.
Glow bias makes you accept weak debunks as if they're good.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was completely obvious what happened there. The angle of the two cameras is just different.
It ain't that.
The whole meta
Yeah,
argument
it
here
is.
is what's
We
really
proved
funny. People assert that they can have this globe-spanning, amazing conspiracy with all the countries in the world cooperating, and even the enemy countries, and yet they can't make a CGI that actually doesn't have bugs in it, where movies can do it. I mean, that argument alone is so incredibly stupid that you have to be a moron to even begin to. It's like such cognitive dissonance in that argument.
The
It's
thing is, you
unbelievable.
can be evil, but you can't be thorough because evil reveals a contempt
No, but
for
you're
the person you're being
claiming this,
evil toward. So after a while, your lies get sloppy, and it gets more and more obvious that you're joshing the person.
But your whole basis is that's not true. You claim an entire globe-spanning conspiracy that involves every country in the world. So you're claiming they're not sloppy. You claim
That's
that conspiracy
sloppier and
beyond
sloppier.
anything that's humanly possible.
The more
so
and
you're
more contempt,
self-contradictory always.
the more and more contempt they have for the people they're lying to, the sloppier their lies are going to be, and eventually.
Yeah, that's not actually
No,
accurate.
but
That's just like a thing that you're saying. That doesn't actually mean anything though, because when evil has access,
But they're not. Other countries are not letting the conspiracy slip. So according to your own argument, that's not true. You're contradicting yourself yet again.
I'll just do what
all
they're
the countries
told.
in the world are
They
not
haven't even
sticking to
left
information.
the main line.
North Korea. You're saying your claim is even North
Guys,
Korea
don't
is
bite.
secretly
Listen how triggered
cooperating
this
with
guy is.
America. It's insane.
Listen how high pitched and triggered this dude is.
that would also mean that
But the
Japan
thing
would have to be working with China to make the flat Earth, but that's ridiculous.
They use
Japan would
the
never
same
work
data
with China
set.
with that.
They use the same data set with the Himawari satellite, so it looks like they're working
China-
together anyway.
China
And it looks
does
like they're
not
working
use the
together.
data set of Himawari.
They use the same data set, and the thing is, it looks like they're working together by their signs and symbols. What was that?
You're lying right now. You're just making that up.
Darrenism goes over
Where's
it
the
in his
proof? Where's the proof?
videos. Go to
Where's the proof?
Darrenism's channel. He goes over it if his channels haven't been deleted or censored or whatever.
Yeah,
Go to
look, I
Darrenism's channel. He
checked,
goes
and
over it.
channel has nothing. Journalism has
Haven't checked
channel has
anything.
nothing.
You're a techno zealot. You're a techno zealot, neo-pagan who doesn't want the flat Earth to be true because of neo-paganism, scientism, zealotry. You don't even care. You don't care about truth as long as you have your trinkets. You don't care. But the thing is, Darrenism goes over it on the site, so go check it out.
No, he doesn't have it on his site. I went to
man.
his channel and I tried to find it and didn't have anything on Japan or China.
This doesn't help anything.
No, for once I would agree with you, Merle, because this dishonest over talking and shouting shit is not helping anyone. You know, Lemon here is claiming that they would just slip up because they're evil, yet he claims that
Evil and lazy.
Shut up, Lemon. Yet he
No,
claims
evil
that,
and
lazy, but lazy.
He claims that Disney is hiding Mengele in a pink room inside there.
play nice.
There, but didn't slip up at one point ever. That's interesting, but dumb. You know, this is not helping. You saying some of it may be not as you would like it to be does not make it true or false.
There are some people you can't help. Some people are just on help. So you just dust off your feet.
Can't help you, apparently.
This babble neo-paganism is not working. What flat?
Lemon's one of the freest flat earther
Neo-paganism,
theorists,
but
guys.
There's no paganism going on here. Like, there's no religion going on here.
Yes, it is. You're saying that it has to be a random ball mess because you can't believe in special creation.
Who says it's a random ball or a random mess? No one says it's a random
That's the
mess.
implication of your idea when it's worked out to its
not
logical
implication.
conclusion.
You're misconstruing the idea.
No, I'm construing it very
you're
accurately and
misconstruing-
putting it in succinct, simple terms to cut through the bullshit.
No, you're putting in words that are
Bullshit
the
here
complete
being
opposite of it.
special creation.
Because the Earth is not a
literally
random
means
place.
Because magic.
Yeah, this guy, this gay black guy, is cringe.
This
Well,
neo-pagan
black
is
guy.
also cringe.
Well, I'm not pagan.
Lemon,
And you know that, Lemon.
Lemon, don't
say anything like that. You're an idiot.
Hey, nobody likes you, so watch your words, all right?
I didn't ask your opinion, bro.
I didn't ask you to ask my fucking opinion. I gave you a warning. I didn't ask you if you asked me to give you a warning.
Yeah,
I give
I
you
don't
fucking
care
warnings.
about
So watch
your
your fucking
opinions,
words. Nobody likes you here. If I
don't
kicked
care
you right
about
now,
your
nobody would
opinions.
blame me for it. So just watch your words.
I didn't say anything bad, so
Can I ask something of you?
use proper terminology. If you're upset at proper terminology, that's a you deal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So this is coming from outsider here. This is a question for you. So ask Veach if we have cameras on rockets that can film their ascent to low Earth orbit. Why has there never been one example in history of a camera staying on, recording its entire journey?
I don't know that that's true that there hasn't been. I've seen cameras that are stayed on for pretty long periods of time. So I guess we'd have to first verify, is that really true? And then if it is true, I'm gonna guess that it's because there's not really a good reason to keep the camera running. If I don't know, you send a probe to Mars, for example. Why would you have a camera running on it as it goes to Mars? Like that takes 6 months. How would you solve the engineering problem of keeping it running, and where would you do with the data, and why are you gathering it anyway? It's just empty space, and you know what I mean. There's just not a lot of call for it. We have tons of video of a rocket launching, going up into the atmosphere, going out of the atmosphere, and into space. And usually, a lot of times, that's when it cuts. Now, I don't know if that footage exists or it just isn't interesting, so they pick a point to cut it at. But I don't think that there's a suspicious lack of footage around this area, though.
You do realize that if we filmed from the nose cone of a rocket and it went to space, as we say it does, it would just fade to black and then be black. And then you would see black until you bumped into a space station or some shit, right?
More importantly,
There's
this
no
is one of their contradictory
light
rabbit
from the
holes
sun
again.
out there.
See, you guys are getting sucked into these side arguments. Again, first they argue it's CGI, and then they say this footage doesn't exist. So if it's CGI, then why would they not create this footage? So the argument falls again on itself. So they like to chase people down these individual rabbit holes, but if you look at it together, like everything in Flat Earth, it's not self-consistent.
So,
right? So if it's CGI, then why would they not just create it as CGI? So saying there's lack of evidence when you're thinking everything is CGI doesn't hold. It's self-contradictory. Your whole argument is self-contradictory.
Did you hear the answer?
That they got sloppy because they were evil. Yeah.
No, that wasn't the answer.
What's the answer?
You said they cut because no one would find it interesting.
I said a bunch of things, but I said maybe that's the reason why you don't
The
have
answer
a
doesn't
camera.
matter.
Hey, why are you?
Is what I'm saying.
Hey, I know, I understand what you're saying, but you made a good point. But guess what? I actually want to have a talk about the side argument. It's okay to go into a side argument sometimes. And the answer I gave you, Merle, was that if you were going to run a camera, say, on a probe to Mars, why exactly? What reason would there be to keep that camera running for 6 months? And then how do you solve the engineering problems associated with it?
No, I can logistically hear exactly what you're saying there. I hear you, but it's the low Earth orbit that people are interested in. It's like it's not that far. There's no reason. Okay, but can you understand? There's rumblings in this community, and it's part of the reason why there's flat earthers in the first place.
But again, we have footage of that. Like, it's not correct to say we don't. And the point that the guy was making is good, which is that if you guys say a lot of it is CGI, then why would they not just CGI that? So if they didn't CGI that, and it doesn't exist, then it's
all CGI.
Well,
if it's all CGI,
Scott,
then why are you guys demanding footage?
Scott, why are they cutting? This is the question.
What? You have to cut eventually, right?
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
No.
You don't.
There's no reason to cut.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Are you going to watch a
Are you
video
talking about cutting
that goes
cameras or cutting to
hold
different
on.
scenes?
Let me finish what I'm saying, dude. Let me finish what I'm saying. Are you going to watch a video that goes on forever, to the end of your life? No, you're not. It's going to cut
Yes,
sooner
I
or
will.
later, guys.
We're not talking about Mars. We're not talking about Mars, Veach. Low Earth orbit.
Yeah, we have footage of going from launch to the Earth orbit. We have like multiple videos.
Not without a
without
cut.
cuts. Yes,
No.
we do. Yes, we do.
No.
I swear I've seen them.
No, you haven't.
I really
Just
have.
saying you swear you've seen them doesn't make it real.
My neighbor has a
You're right.
self-driving car.
It doesn't. But as a matter of fact, it is real. I have seen it. It's not. It doesn't. It's not real because I said it, but it's true.
Wrong again.
Well, I mean, look, you can deny it if you want.
Self-driving
but
things
I
don't
would know and
exist.
you would,
Well,
whether I've seen
V-
it. or not.
Veach, Veach, M. Scott Veach, I'm not going to do what I usually do. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
I know your word is your word. That's not in question. I'm just saying there's a community looking for this kind of stuff. Like, they're thorough too. They research. They know their
Let me see if
stuff.
I can find you some. Let me see if I can find you one.
No,
Okay.
Merle,
Appreciate that, Scott.
As much as I'd agree there's a community looking, Merle, what they're looking for is some way to stay in their faith of the Bible and stationary Earth and all that. They're not looking for an actual truth. They're just looking for a way to stay in that paradigm.
I wholeheartedly, with all due respect to you, wholeheartedly disagree with that.
Yeah, you might because obviously you're seeing it from a different side. But you know, for one, that whole gyro thing there, the Bob did, right? You know, that's actual science of some sort. You know, checking things. Why aren't they doing that? Given that they actually have resources.
Who says they're not?
Clowning around taking blurry pictures of the horizon, Rakia, is not doing any progress of anything.
I never said it was. And Bob was just on a show yesterday talking about the new studies they've been doing with the gyro. What are you talking about? Yeah, they invested in the gyro. They're doing the test. You're just assuming you're divining their thoughts and assuming what they're doing or not doing. It makes you sound.
No, Rakia,
It just
don't
makes
be
you
like
sound
that.
a certain
You
way.
know, I wasn't being rude.
You don't be like that. Yesterday, the very guy you just said, why aren't they doing more tests with the gyro? We're talking about the tests that they're doing with the gyro. It's amazing, brother.
Well, why can't he publish the footage of what he has done?
Well, maybe they will in good time. They don't want to post things that aren't, very well researched because people like you, as you cut me off, will condemn them for it, right? So they're trying to be scientific about it, for as what I understand.
The man.
Yes, Bob was on a show yesterday discussing that very issue. Yes.
Yeah, and this guy here is saying, why don't Bob do more? Why don't people do this? And why don't people do that? For what? For you?
Why don't you do something, my
don't
friend?
need to- I
Yeah,
don't
for
need you
once.
to find out it's a globe, but I don't
Divining
care.
people's thoughts about why you think they're in this for their religious beliefs?
Rakia, easy there.
To uphold their religion?
Rakia, this is not
You
about race.
you read people's
You
minds
make
all the time,
yourself
bro.
sound a certain way that's not conducive to a good argument. No one really wants to talk to you when you act like that because, you're putting them on a, you're putting yourself as divining their thoughts. Why would they even talk to you?
Rakia, don't be raising your voice like that. It's not
You
helping
did. I'm not raising my voice at you.
Stop
You did this to
interrupting.
yourself.
Why are you
Not
yelling,
helping
bro? Why are
yourself
you
here,
yelling?
Rakia.
I am not yelling. I don't know why
Stop
this
interrupting.
microphone
You're
here
yelling
does
so
it.
loud, bro.
Rakia. You're not
This is
helping
not
yourself,
yelling. Y'all
okay?
are being ridiculous.
This guy's blowing up my ears. Jesus.
Well, then turn your mic down, genius.
Jesus.
But it's not as loud as it normally is. It's just his microphone, probably.
Yeah,
But
I am not yelling at all. This is a normal voice in a truck.
Yeah, but stop over talking anyways, Rakia, because what I said and what
Yeah.
I would stand by is, if the guy's got footage that says 15 degrees per hour drift, why is it a point for all of Flat Earth to say, oh, nobody has him doing that on camera?
I don't
If
know.
it's
You
a
want me to
fact,
divine the
say
thoughts
to
of all
that.
flat earthers? That I don't
Rakia-
want to be as ignorant as you. You asked me a question, sir. I
There you
answered
go,
it.
raising your voice again.
Yeah, you really did.
Y'all want to talk about the level of my voice, or
So,
you
okay,
want
you
to cut me off while I'm answering the question that was
You're
asked?
interrupting my question. Yeah,
You're cutting
I
people off,
kinda do.
Rocky. I promise. You're doing it
I
too.
don't
You
get it.
bombed in.
How
You're
many
interrupting
questions do I
people.
need to let him ask?
You're interrupting me right now as you do it, as you complain about being
Yeah,
interrupted.
you're
Crazy.
interrupting this conversation. Yes.
No. Okay, you're
Yes,
yelling.
I was asked a question and I
Listen to me.
answered
Stop
it.
interrupting me, dude. Stop interrupting me. You're yelling and you aren't interrupting. I'm just giving you a heads up that you're wrong to think that you're completely innocent of this.
Yeah, and to be fair, Ikea, I think this is one of the most reasonable I've ever seen them or heard them.
Yeah, no, they've been good, but to divine people's thoughts, and I just brought up the point that yesterday I heard Bob. Now I don't know him personally. I wasn't involved in the show, but I heard him talking about the gyro and the tests that they're doing, the data that they've covered, the experiments that they want to do coming up in the future months, what they've done and what they're trying to do. And this guy is divining people's thoughts. It's weird. Like, it doesn't even add up.
If you're ready to present any result at all from a test, then you're ready to fully present what you have.
And they're not ready, right?
No, Ricky, be quiet for a second. If you're saying I read 15 degrees per hour, but I won't show you the footage because I'm gonna deny it later on, and all of my little acolytes there is all gonna be denying it and saying, oh, there's no actual footage of him doing that test. Percentage is one of the most, notable ones of doing this. Agreed, maybe you haven't done it personally, but several people have, okay?
This is why you have to get familiar with different narratives to interpret the same results in different ways. They interpret that as the ether drift, and Bob Nodell said it was 7 degrees, not 15. So you got the wrong press release there because he said it was.
And Bob has explained
He says 15. Your interpretation is that he says
He
7.
said many different figures, and he also says ether. Why do y'all leave that out? He believes
Yeah,
it's
you only
ether.
say
They're
the
doing
first part
further
of his
tests.
sentence.
What did
Are
he
you
say?
cherry
What did he
picking?
say?
Are you cherry picking what Bob is saying?
Yeah.
No, I never
he
had him said
continues.
7.
Why
Well,
do
then
you
you
only
should go
believe
listen
part of
to
what
him
he
before y'all
says?
talk about it.
How about the
What
other
did he
part
say
where he says it
7?
measures
Go
different?
listen for yourself. Don't get it third party. Go to Bob.
Where's the recording that says he said 7?
Oh my goodness, Bob he will explain this and
Last
has
night,
made
listen
videos
to the
about
show
this.
last night.
What show?
He talks
Yeah.
about it.
What show? This show?
Brandon.
Go to
Listen to
Globebusters.
Brandon's show last night. Bob talks about it.
No,
Go to
look at
Globebusters.
that.
Go to Bob. He has an email.
said
You can
7.
discuss these
don't
things. He's
misquote
very
the man.
open.
Don't misquote the man.
Because,
Only part of his sentence.
guys, the real point here is now you're saying you have evidence of Bob saying other things and promoting other
I've never
theories.
said anything to the contrary.
Rikia,
Now you're saying, try to be quiet for a second. Now you're saying you have evidence of him measuring other things. Why aren't
Rikia,
No, he talks about how the show misquoted him, how the show left some stuff out. You guys are misquoting the man.
Okay.
Do you
says
understand?
he has evidence, not me.
I'm not misquoting the man. He literally says 15.
Y'all are
degrees.
you're being ridiculous. Hey, how about you be quiet for a second? How about you be quiet for a second? You're being ridiculous. If you want to know information about what Bob has collected, go ask Bob. Don't cherry pick one thing he said because it fits your narrative and forget about everything else he said, the other tests that he's done, and that the fact that he's measured 15 per hour drift of something with a gyro doesn't prove it's Earth rotation. He's very adamant about that.
Veach, can I
Who
just
cares
say?
what Bob has to say?
Veach, can I just say one thing? I really appreciate your time. Chemo too. I'm getting tired. There was a really strong point there. It seems to want to go somewhere else now, and I understand SE and Rakia's frustration too. But all that we were asking for was, why is there no cut and entire journey footage from ground to low Earth orbit, uncut
You saw
footage?
the video? You saw the video I just posted for you?
No. No.
Look at debate tab plus.
And if
Okay.
there's a drift, if you insist there's a drift, show us this drift.
Look at this genius we have in here, SC Montreal.
The thing is, you can interpret the
Listen,
results for a
clown
spinning
show.
Earth
Hold
or a
on,
spinning
hold on. Listen,
ether.
clown show. You say it showed. He showed a drift, right?
Greatest of all time.
Shout out to Bob. Now show us this drift, moron.
I'm just curious. Why are
Can you drop it again, Scott?
The thing is, there's different ways to interpret.
Can you repeat yourself again?
Now we need to
Jesse?
justify
It should be easy.
interpretation.
I got you. I got you.
It should be easy, right, to show this drift?
No, if,
Right?
if one of
Geniuses
would
have
just
full uncut videos of landing on Mars, but not have Bob give us the full documentation of his experiments.
Are you afraid of my question? Am I not being
nobody's
heard?
afraid of your question, as he is.
So
just
why
that
don't you
all of your
answer it?
acolytes are shouting
Shout
over
out
the
Bob
end.
Nodell. Why don't you answer it?
Why don't you answer my question?
And when is Bob
Why
going
is
to
it
receive his
required
medal?
of us, but not of you?
When is Bob going to receive his medal?
Why is what, Leo?
Why is
We're
it?
measuring what every airplane engineer that ever installed an optic gyro measures every day.
Perfect, perfect. It's
probably
easy.
never.
Everybody, show us this drift of yours. I want to see it.
I'm just curious. Why is it the flat earthers require us to show them uncut, documented footage of event X, but we can't require the same thing of Bob Nodell?
It's a totally
Well, wait a minute. You
fair
just
question,
used Bob Nodell, and you just said he proved 15.
No, I used him in a very
you
vague manner.
just said he proved the drift. Okay,
No,
fine.
I did not.
Shout out to Bob
I did-
Nodell.
I
Now
did not
show
say
us this
anything.
drift.
I did not say
Please,
anything about drift.
please, pretty please. I'm being nice. Show us this drift.
Ask Montreal. I
What are you
never
talking about?
anything
He just
about
said he did not say that. So what are you talking about?
yes.
There's a drift, right?
I didn't
No,
say
he
that.
And
just
Bob
said, I
Nodell
did not
proved it,
say
right?
that.
Right or
No,
wrong?
We
I
use
told you he
it-
didn't say that. What do you not
Nobody
understand
said-
about that sentence?
What exactly did you say Bob proved? That the Earth is spinning
did not.
at 15 degrees per hour? Is that what you said?
You did.
I did not say that.
Prove it.
I did not say that. What I said is, why do flat earthers require the globe earthers to show them uncut footage of event X and not require Bob to show us all the documentation of any experiment he's done? Why?
They can.
Wait a minute. You just said
Clearly they
Bob
can.
Nodell
Anything about
proved that something is spinning the Earth right at 15 degrees, right?
No, I know what
You
to say.
guys just said that.
not?
Now you're backing out of that.
He didn't
So
say
did
that.
he or did he not prove Earth
He didn't
rotation?
say that.
Why are you?
So what did
listening to
Bob
what I
Nodell exactly
You're
prove?
misunderstanding him on purpose, Essie. Come on.
I'll say it.
What?
Bob measured the rotation of the
Oh,
Earth.
come on. Tell us. What did Bob Nodell prove? Come on.
I
Who
Tell
are you
us.
talking to, Essie? Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to all of you geniuses.
Okay.
Just
I have no
No,
idea.
you're,
I have no idea
it
what
doesn't
you're
sound like you're
talking
talking to everybody. It sounds like you're talking to someone
I have
specific.
no idea what you're even talking about, to be honest with you.
let me be
So
specific.
there we go. The double speak has been shown once again.
The double
When
speak.
pressed
I have
about
no idea what you're talking
when
about. It's not
pressed
double
about
speak.
what he did, what you just said 5 minutes ago, you're
What?
all
Bob,
backing
I
out
didn't
of
say
it.
anything 5 minutes
Because
ago.
you
You're
know what's
quadruple
coming
speaking,
next,
No,
Essie.
I
right?
didn't. I
Right.
have no idea what Bob
Can't
Nodell
prove
did.
it, so
I know
they're
anything
just going
about
to
the guy.
gaslight and try to obfuscate. So the conversation's
Here's the problem,
over.
Essie,
We're just going to
is you are
gaslight
not
and obfuscate. You know,
You are
you
not
can't prove that Bob Nodell. Well, Bob Nodell did say it. I did see when he did say
Here's the
that,
problem.
but you can't
Here's
show
the
that
problem.
that's what Bob Nodell's data are or
Here's
what's
the problem.
actually occurring.
And
Here's
that
the
was
problem,
the
Essie, is you're
actual
not
point of what I
distinguishing
said,
between
Lemon.
voices, okay?
If he
So you
has
heard
some
one person
evidence
say
to
one
present,
thing,
then he
you heard
could
another
damn
person
well
say another
show
thing.
it.
You've gotten them
If he
mixed
has
up,
something
and now
else,
you're asking
you guys
people the
can damn
wrong
well
people
present
to,
it.
you're asking the
If
wrong
you have
people
a
to say
case
things
to
again.
present your damn
But
evidence.
no one said anything before. Hey, Sword, give me a second, okay? So SC, did you hear what I said?
You can say whatever you want. That's what you guys were implying, and you were laughing at Bob
No,
Nodell,
listen. Okay,
posting
listen to
all
what-
kinds
listen
of.
to what I'm
Okay,
saying.
tell us, Scott. What is your
This
your position here?
I'll tell
Go.
you. I'll tell you. I think what happened is that you got voices mixed up. You didn't distinguish because you're asking Lael and me what Bob, and neither one of us had any comment on this. I don't know anything about what Bob did. I did not say anything before. I did not say anything now. That's not a gotcha on your part. It's like I have no idea what you've been talking about. Someone else must have said that, and you haven't figured out who it is. You're asking the wrong people.
You are all talking about it. Don't backtrack.
Not
Maybe
me.
you didn't say it. Maybe Lel didn't say it. Fine, but that was the topic of conversation.
You need to find out who you were
No,
talking
it
to.
literally wasn't. It was.
Wait, can I say my piece one more time? Trill?
For the third time, Leo, go ahead.
Why is it that flat earthers require the globe earthers to provide them uncut footage of event X, but not require the same thing? But why should we not require the same thing of Bob Nodell for any experiment that he does? Why should not we receive cut documented footage of any experiment Bob
But
does?
you have
We
it,
do.
Leo.
We do. We have 24-hour footage
Sir
of straight
Bob
across the
Nodell's
flat lake.
15-degree admitted
No, you don't.
thing. You have it. Now, you have to admit that if that's the case, the Earth is spinning at 15 degrees. Yes or
I
no?
never said anything about that experiment. I was being very vague on purpose. I said experiment X. It could be any one of Bob's experiments. I don't care. Why doesn't he?
Oh, I see. It could be anyone. I get it. Right.
Of that experiment, whatever it is. But you required it of us. Why can't we require it of him? Why isn't it not fair for us to do the same?
You can, sure. The thing is, you have faith in the globe model, so your standard of evidence for the globe will inherently be lower than your standard of evidence for the thing that you don't believe.
It's the same standard, just matches reality. That's all.
It doesn't match reality. It could be the spin of the ether and or the spin of the earth. Either one is viable.
Just making stuff up. None of those things exist.
I'm making up a framework that was accepted a century ago. Get real, dude.
Nobody accepts it anymore.
No, you're not. You're just making up words.
I could care less if the Earth is spinning or not, what shape the Earth is. I just want to see the uncut, documented evidence of what Bob's talking about. I could care less about the rest.
Why? He proved the rotation. He proved the
never said
rotation.
anything
Why do you
about
want to
that.
see? What do you want to see?
I'll say that he did.
get
He
it.
did measure it.
Didn't he measure the rotation according to you guys?
Yeah, he
Isn't
sure
Sir
did.
Bob Nodell gonna get a Nobel soon?
No,
According to you
because
guys?
he's not the first person to have fucking done that.
No,
A
not
lot
even
of fucking
close.
people have measured the rotation of the Earth. Bob Nodell's the person in this community that's done it with a ring laser gyroscope, but that doesn't mean he's the only person that's fucking done it. Lots of
They
people
don't
do it
hand
every
out
day.
Nobel Prizes to people who reveal things that have been known for centuries.
The rotation was assumed axiomatically. It's never been proven. You need to have a substance to move and spin through that is consistently acting against the spinning or moving object. Otherwise, you have no way to prove movement. You abolish that framework when you abolish the ether. Therefore, by extension, you have no way to prove movement at all. You have to philosophically assume it by looking at the movement of bodies over the earth, but you have no way to prove it because you need a substance to move through.
No,
Non-inertial
I'm gonna
forces
explain to
present
you
themselves
what.
in non-inertial reference frames.
There's a.
the rotation. Neither one of those
Is
requires
Scott
an
trying to
ether.
talk?
Scott, why are you so quiet?
I can't fix it. It's just them.
We can barely hear you.
Yeah, I understand.
I am fine.
That's why I'm not muting people and throwing fits when I keep getting overtalked. I understand. I'm low. But
Is your
did you
mic
hear
all the
me?
way up in Discord settings?
No, it's because my PC's in the shop. I'm using an iPad with AirPods.
Oh, gotcha.
Something's wrong. I can't figure it out.
It's AirPods.
Lemon, did you hear what I said though?
Repeat it one more time.
So this is what I'm saying is we don't need the ether. Here's two ways you can do it without using the ether. One way is Foucault's pendulum. The other way is we can seriously just get in a rocket ship, go into space, turn around, and observe the rotation. Neither one of those requires an ether.
So we can observe the rotation in space, but we can't observe the rotation from on Earth over the ground like 100 feet?
Absolutely. That is
Really?
correct.
So what happened to that goal? What happened to that goal? How was that goal made? Was your boy wrong, Neil deGrasse?
He's just talking colloquially. He wasn't even talking about something that he's measured and actually made sure that happened. He's just saying this is what would happen.
Oh no.
And we're it's
Wrong.
not, we don't
He
care
said
what Neil
that is
deGrasse
what
Tyson said.
happened.
None of us.
Do you not know your
Why
priest's,
are you?
thing?
No, SE. Why do you think we care about what Neil deGrasse Tyson said? Because none of us do. Not
Like, the
a
only
single
people
person
who
in
call
here,
him our
except for the
priests are
flat
you
earthers,
guys.
care about what Neil deGrasse Tyson said. So stop. We don't care about what he says.
Like
You
flat
don't
earthers
care
are the only
about
people who
top
actually
guy.
bring up
Top
Neil
guy
deGrasse
says,
Tyson in his
wow.
quotes when this kind of stuff comes up. He's not our priest. Sounds more like he's yours.
We can see the rotation using the precession of the pendulum.
The pendulum, huh? Wow.
Or even
Well,
the,
This is what's always
pendulum.
your arguments are always boiled down to ha 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 wow. Like that's all you ever have to say about these things. It gets so repetitive.
Well, Mr. Veach, there's a problem with the false cult pendulum. The false cult pendulum swings differently depending on the ball and socket joint. It has to be start and stop. It doesn't just start and keep going on its own. So it shows that the Earth's movement or lack thereof is insufficient to do anything with the pendulum. It is philosophically there's a deviation from the straight path of the pendulum because of the movement of the Earth beneath it, but the ball and socket joint can account for that just as well. Electromagnetism can account for that just as well.
But it doesn't. You don't use the ball and socket joint. You have to use a very special gimbal that will have free rotation, and it isn't supposed to move it. The moving part is completely independent of the rotation. The rotation causes the precession if it's already moving.
Electromagnetism can explain it.
Attached to?
Well, electromagnetism can't explain why it precesses at exactly the right rate for every latitude. You can literally move your way up the Earth. And everywhere you drop it and test the pendulum, it's going to be processing at exactly the right rate for the rotation of a globe of this size. Now that's
all those pendulums are rigged. They're magnetic. Check out Eyes. She does hours and hours and hours of stuff on it. You are delusional.
Then you know how I know you're not right? Because I made a Foucault pendulum myself, and I didn't use magnets.
But you believe in the false cult pendulum. You believe in the globe's promises. Perhaps you're seeing through a glass darkly. Have you compared the counter narratives?
What?
Maybe your globe bias is blinding you.
Okay, so if there are counter narratives like you propose, like electromagnetism being responsible, then why does electromagnetism seem to depend on latitude? Why does it seem like this?
What was that?
Why does it seem like the effect? Because we know from experimental evidence that the pendulum's precession depends on your latitude. So somehow this electromagnetic, effect on this precession somehow has to be related to latitude. And up until now, we have no evidence to show that that's the case.
I believe in a background electromagnetic fluid of ether that flows toward the north, giving you your compasses, that flows over and around the earth like a sink in a drain. If you've ever seen the water go down a drain, you pull the cork out of the drain, it starts to swirl in the middle, and you get counter whirls toward the outer edge if you get further and further away from the drain. That's what I look at as Coriolis, ether, pendulum precession, tornadoes, whatever. The electromagnetic background swirling in different ways.
Have you done anything to test that theory?
To test for this electromagnetic background? This stage is theoretical and conceptual.
So why do you think it has a basis in real experiments like the Foucault?
Because it was a framework that they appear to have accepted a century ago. It's intuitive, elegant, and it gives a more consistent explanation of the Michelson-Morley and Michelson-Gale experiments. Enough ether to gently swirl over the Earth, but not enough ether based off of the Michelson-Morley experiment that expected 66,000 miles per hour of ether drift over the Earth.
You forgot to mention gravity.
Gravity can, there's attempts to absorb gravity under electromagnetism too. You can get overall attraction with incoherent magnetism without any sort of repulsion with the north-south part of a magnet that's a coherent north-south magnet. You put an incoherent magnetic buckyball mass next to a coherent north-south magnet, and you get overall attraction no matter what pole you point at the thing. There's your gravity.
You realize that everything you're saying is utter nonsense, right? And you also know that you can shield electromagnetism and you can't shield gravity. So it's very easy to do that.
Lemon, I told you
Faraday
before.
Cage still has light coming through it, and light is somewhat electromagnetic. So obviously the Faraday Cage is not getting rid of all electromagnetism. Maybe some, but not all.
Lemon,
Did I say anything about a Faraday Cage?
You said something. What were you
I did not say
saying?
anything about a Faraday Cage. It's possible to shield electromagnetism completely. You cannot shield gravity. It's a very easy experiment to do.
Shield it with
You
the
have
Faraday
insulators
Cage,
that
right?
work.
Shield it with the Faraday
I did
Cage,
not say that. Would you? I did not say that.
Okay, then
I
shield
did
it
not
with
say
what?
that.
With what?
We have insulators that will prevent electromagnetism forces from going through them. We can measure electromagnetism. So we can show that it's not there. It does not. We can show that we can shield from it. We can show that we cannot shield from the effects of gravity with any materials in any way whatsoever.
But you
Because
infer the
gravity-
existence of gravity without a substance. We can see the substance of electromagnetism with blue sparks and other indirect.
It doesn't matter.
effects
We could show that.
or
We could show that it's not
gravity. So
possible.
why are you blinding on to gravity? Why not
We could show electromagnetism is not possible. We can shield it and measure it. So
But
it
it's
cannot
not
be an explanation.
gravity. it's more
It doesn't
possible than
matter.
gravity because at least
No, it's not.
electromagnetism is a substance.
We can rule. No, it's not. Because
This
we can
conception in your mind that
absolutely rule it
there's
out.
the necessity of a substance is just fictitious. Like you've come up with that standard for yourself, and that's fine. But attempting to apply that and claim that as just a truth is, I think,
But we're in the realm of inference, and we can infer back to electromagnetism just like we can infer back to gravity just as easily with little or no contradiction. That's why people tend to go with electromagnetic gravity in like the EU or
But
other
we can
places.
absolutely rule it out.
Which people do this?
absolutely rule out
Can you name one
electromagnetism.
peer-reviewed research paper that refers to electromagnetic gravity as opposed to the standard classical conception of it?
You'd have to go with people like Steinmetz talking about electromagnetic gravity with dielectricity and magnetic field forces and stuff like that, with their theory and stuff like that. But if you're talking about peer-reviewed papers, I'd have to find one. Steinmetz talked about it. EU Universe people talk about it. People like that.
Interesting. And using this theory of electromagnetic gravity, what have they been able to conclude that's different from standard gravity? Any new discoveries?
They're just saying that basically it's electromagnetic in nature. I would put
He's
that
lying.
over.
There's not a single peer-reviewed paper on that. He's just making that
Who
up.
cares? Peer reviews corrupt anyway. Who gives a damn? And it halts progress because it enforces groupthink. Peer review is not the final arbiter of what's true or false in science anyway. It may be an indicator, but even they can be corrupt. So who gives a damn?
So now you're excusing your lies. So first you lie, and now you excuse your lies. Okay.
Sure, yeah, I can stifle progress. What progress has electromagnetic gravity produced as opposed to the mainstream?
It's much more testable.
How so?
Gravity only kicks in at large scales, which is another way of saying it's untestable. You'd have to look at something clumping together and assume it's gravity.
Do we?
Small
Is it
scale
only
magnetism is much stronger. Therefore, electromagnetism would tend to be the cause because of its strength anyway.
Do you know what the problem with that is, Lemon?
What?
The fact that on the large scale everything is electrically neutral, so electromagnetism isn't like a powerful enough force on the large scale.
Electrically neutral?
Yeah. You know what that means?
How is that possible when we're seeing electric lightning and other discharges? How's that even a thing?
On average.
Because
on
lightning
average,
is not electrically neutral.
On average, everything is electrically neutral.
In the case of, for example, an inert substance, when you have some homogeneous collection of, say, argon or whatever, you know, they have the same number of electrons as protons. And as long as you're not dealing with a polar substance involving that, then you generally won't have any kind of electric charge on net.
I'm kind of curious of these supposed papers that he's seen. What shape of the Earth do these scientists believe it is? Because you can't use someone who doesn't believe the Earth is flat as proof that the Earth is flat.
Many of them are materialist atheists. They go with the ball.
How do you know? How do you know? Have you met them?
Some of these electric universe people propose another cosmology where electricity forms everything. I'm just saying that it can work over a flat plane, so they're proposing another cosmology.
But, like, why are these people right when it comes to electromagnetic gravity, but wrong when it comes to the shape of the Earth? Why are they only selectively correct in your perception?
Because they're human, and not everybody gets everything right anyway.
That was not my question, though. My question was, you are making an assumption that every single scientist that disagrees with your position about the shape of the Earth
He didn't say
is
that.
atheist.
He didn't
yes,
say
he
that.
did.
Lil. No, he didn't.
He said these.
Will, I'm going to gear up for you to ask the question 3 more times, and I'm going to try to be patient with you.
The point is, Lil is
Not
Mormon.
all scientists do that, okay, Leo?
No, but the scientists that you're talking about, what proof do you have that they are atheist? Show me that evidence.
Their atheistic cosmology that is not biblically revealed. Where the hell did they get it?
They are atheists.
If not their own mind.
They are atheists.
Where the hell did they get that cosmology? That is not revealed in the Bible.
Observation,
Just tries
evidence,
to think he has a gotcha and it tries to exploit it.
science,
It's not
actual
avoiding
actual
anything.
science.
Lemonberg is the one avoiding things. I ask
Jesus,
him for
Lil. They
evidence.
come out. They don't hide the fact. Most of them don't hide the fact that they're atheists, man. What are you talking about?
I want the evidence
Not
that
even the debate.
Lemonberg proved.
Yeah,
says
you're
that they
just
are
trying to get
atheists,
Lemonbird
though.
on a gotcha. You even
It's
changed
not
his
a
word to do
gotcha.
so. It's too
I
evident.
want the evidence that the people
You're
that
trying
you're talking
too
about are
hard,
atheists.
Why are you over talking
Rocky,
him?
the point is
Rakia,
that it's
why are you?
irrelevant. It doesn't
Let Lil
matter
finish what
if
he's saying,
somebody's.
man.
Well, I've only had the pleasure of speaking with two EU proponents. The Electric Universe God himself, Grimm, who is atheistic and in some cases anti-theist.
I'm talking about the actual
But when it comes
scientists.
to
I don't care
religion,
about
he
Grimm.
Grimm's
took
a weed
a
farmer.
look at it,
Wouldn't-
and this other scientist who appeared to be somewhat atheistic as well. That is my two experiences. It does appear that there is at least some atheist experience that I've had with these EU purporters.
So you're saying that your evidence is anecdotal? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Grimm is an atheist. That
You
doesn't
want a
mean the other
peer-reviewed
scientists are
paper about how many people have been surveyed to be atheistic in the EU fold? Let me see if I can find that for you.
No, I want
No, I'm
evidence
just.
of anyone outside of Grimm, because Grimm is not a scientist who believes.
But Grimm's systematic, and he thinks more systematically and scientifically than some of the scientism zealots in here who parrot the party line with no thought, no consistency, and no systematic nature at all.
How do you know that?
My experience with you guys,
I'm
which
curious
is
where the lack of consistency is.
after
They
four
trust all
years of
their
experience
authorities
with you
until Neil
guys.
deGrasse is brought up as an authority, and then they throw him under the bus as their authority. It's
Because
weird.
Grimm's an idiot.
I didn't say Grimm wasn't.
Grimm is very smart. And Grimm has the sort of systematic scientific thinking that allows you to be a real scientist as opposed to a fraud, pretender, and scientific fake.
But I did not say he wasn't an expert in what he believes that he believes. But that doesn't mean he's an expert on understanding what the actual electric universe people believe.
When the experts don't know shit and can't think worth a damn, who cares anyway?
So if you're calling those experts that Grimm goes by idiots, then why should I trust what they say is true?
Experts know things, some experts don't know things, Leo. Sometimes their minds get stiff and unflexible and inflexible. They can't take a new idea if it hit them over the head. And they don't have a systematic way to accept or reject new ideas either. Sometimes they're proud and they're full of ego. And they go with the party line for their paycheck or because it protects their bottom line. So it's a mixed bag anyway, Leo.
You're misrepresenting what I'm saying.
I think I'm representing it pretty accurately.
Can I ask an honest question of the room just before I go? Like,
You said that like 3 hours ago when I came in.
if there's 100% certainty that the globe and planet Earth is exactly as it states it is, why is it being debated?
Because
Really
delusional
good
people
question.
like yourself, Merle, think the Earth is flat when it's not.
That wasn't really an answer.
Because there's this conspiracy that they're all lying. That's why. That's the only reason. That all the evidence is fake. That's all it is.
But if you guys have all the evidence and all the proof, what are you doing here talking with us dumb people?
Entertainment.
The short bus
It's entertainment.
It's entertain. Is that really?
Yeah, this is what
as far
we do
as it
for
goes?
fun. This is
fair.
entertaining to us. That's why we do this. That's why all of you are here too, because this is what you feel like doing with your time.
We also learn a ton of science. We learn all kinds of stuff, both from you guys and from trying to debate you guys and from just general discussion. There's a lot of good reasons to be doing this, even though we know what the answer is.
Yeah, but we're so dumb, right? We're on the short bus. What could you possibly gain from talking with people like us?
I don't know. I don't know why you think you're dumb. I don't think you're dumb.
I don't think I'm dumb. You guys think I'm dumb. And all of
I
us.
don't think you're dumb. I never said you're dumb. I've never called any of you guys dumb.
If there's anyone dumb in this room, it's me.
You're not dumb either, Leo.
I resent that remark, Scott. Thanks for white knighting.
I know. You're welcome.
Are there any of you that have any doubts about it?
Doubts about what?
It
Like
being
you guys are
100%.
so smart, you don't even know what a straight line is, right? Or
You
a
know what a straight
triangle.
line is. You know
What's
what
a
a
straight
triangle
line
is.
and what's a triangle, Scott?
Well,
No, but
in
can-
what way do you mean? A straight line is the shortest path between 2 points.
SE, can you
Okay,
can
how
you
far
ask
can you envision a straight line going?
you ask them like just
Arbitrarily far.
after I go? 'Cause I'm just about to go. Like, I just really wanted, like, does anyone in here that supports the globe have any doubts about it?
Merle, I'll tell you the truth. I have doubts about how the universe was started. I have doubts about whether black holes do exactly what we think they do, or what's at the edge of the universe. I have doubts about many things in science that are at the cutting edge. I don't have doubts about the shape of the planet. The shape of the planet is established and well established. We've seen it from space. We have video. We have thousands of eyewitness confirmations. We have measurements on Earth that confirm it. We have so many different ways of knowing what the shape of the Earth is. It's just not on my list of things I doubt.
And I would concur with Scott. If you guys who claim that testimony is important, if we have thousands of people that have been to the ISS or in space that say the Earth is a sphere, why shouldn't we trust what they say?
Well, it's not thousands. It's like a couple, maybe not even 100. I don't
Okay,
think.
that's more than what they have.
500 people, at least.
Is it
Americans,
500 people?
Americans. I think it's
This is
500
some
Americans have been to space.
very unfortunate timing here. It would have been nice if Merle could have had a chance to respond to his little smackdown.
500 people have 500
Thank you, Leo.
testimonies.
You're a great protege.
They've been far enough away from the Earth to see that, but no one has been far enough away from the Earth to see that it is flat.
Have you got any doubts about it, Grandpa? Curved? What about you, Emerald? Like, are you?
Reply to what Scott said, Merle.
Now, will you reply to what I just said? 500 people have been
Fuck
far
you, Leo.
Earth to see that it's not flat, that it's actually a sphere.
Shut your fucking gob, Leo. Merle, respond to what Scott said.
The overwhelming evidence.
Don't ask another fucking question. Answer.
I'm not certain.
Nobody asked if you were certain. Can you respond to what he said, you gutless coward?
Well, I've seen what he's seen, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not certain. That's why I'm here.
This is what you spend your
So
time
your
with.
answer to me is to block me and stop me from doing anything? Is that how you stop truth in this room?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Who blocked you? There's a couple people in here that'll block people that are
what are you
trolls.
what are you referencing? Did something happen? What happened? Oh, these people's problem is they say stuff like that, but then they have nothing to say afterwards.
I just said you can't post anymore. I can't. That's okay.
You
I
can't.
understand.
That's
I
what I'm
understand
asking.
how the truth
I'm
works
asking-
in its room.
Yeah, that's not the way the truth works, and that's why I'm asking so we can fix whatever was gone wrong. So you can't post pictures. That's what's going on.
Yes.
All right, let me look into it.
I wonder if somebody gave him that no pictures role for a reason.
Wonder why.
Yeah,
The truth hurts, doesn't it? When a picture causes somebody to spiral out of control, that means something's going on in the other person's head that sees the picture and it causes them to spiral out of control.
Let me just say one thing real quick. So I don't know who did this to you, but I'm going to undo it, assuming they don't tell me not to. But will you just do one thing and maybe post less frequently, because I think it was a spam issue more than it was a truth issue.
Sure.
Okay.
What do you guys got
what's your
against
name, sorry?
against the memes? Tell me.
Who are you? What's your name, sir?
That's a
At the bottom, Radwin.
Okay, thank you.
I mean,
Nice one,
if
Kosho.
Radwin...
Michael knew the score.
Could I ask a
course
question
he
to the Flat
did.
Earthers here?
That's why he
damn
was
it.
knocked off too.
I think it's only if Radman gets no picked. I think it's only fair that Gypsy gets no picked, because the wee motherfucker keeps posting a stream of memes that he's been told
Okay,
he's
well,
no picked
I'll
before. He
talk to
doesn't
him
give
too,
a
Chris. I'll
fuck.
talk to him too.
He just continues to
giving
post
Radwin-
irrelevant memes.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll talk to him. We're giving Radwin back, and he's going to post less frequently so that it's not spamming so much. All right. Let me see.
Maybe you should block Kosho. He just posted a flat Earth meme.
It's not a stream of memes though. It's not a stream of fucking Ritalin-induced fucking ADHD
Okay,
spazzing
okay,
out
I'll talk
fucking
to him.
memes.
I'll talk to him.
Right. Okay.
If you have a meme and it's appropriate or whatever, no one's gonna clown you for posting it. But there's no need to post it more than once unless you're in a conversation and referencing it and they got pushed up or something like that. But other than that, there's no need to post it more than once.
I'd say nobody minds the memes, but you have to answer for the contents of them. You can't just go another meme and another meme and another meme. That's not active in any ways. It's just going to be noise.
I think they trigger you guys because they open your mind. They make you think.
No,
They-
SE, really, it doesn't.
Definitely.
The answer, every one of your memes has been discussed in here, and you know that because we laugh at you every time we have you explain the skateboard.
Hey, Sword, can a triangle have more than 180 degrees?
On a sphere, it can.
SE, how do you like this meme?
A two-dimensional triangle? No. A three-dimensional? Yes.
Exactly. Nice one. Keep pedaling. Keep pedaling.
Yeah, Kimo posted this for a long time. That was really funny. But it was so funny because the person who had the idea of this the way it works has got to be one of the dumbest people in the world. But
Meanwhile, in Globhead land.
I heard that's just south of Newfoundland.
Now everybody posts all the
are
memes they
actually
have.
sort of discussing that meme, right? We're not just posting it and going on to another meme.
Memes are good. Memes are funny, and they make you think. That's why you guys
Interesting.
get
Do you
triggered.
have any scientific evidence or anything to provide? Because
Oh,
memes
this guy.
not
This
important
guy.
in science.
This guy, the big balls debate champion.
Sometimes
Oh yeah,
Merlin,
shout
we're
out to the
usually
Plain
one-
Truth,
Merlin,
guys. He has a
Merlin, we're
good
usually one
Pancho
who-
Train video. Shout out to the Plain Truth.
Wait, Merlin, was it you or was it SE who thought LIGO was a particle accelerator?
No, that wasn't me.
That was SE.
Ah, it
I
was
made
one
that
of
mistake
SE.
once. I
Think about it,
misspoke.
Viagra
I didn't think.
it kind of is.
I
a particle,
misspoke on
so
that once.
accelerator.
That was me.
oh my God, Scott.
I'm just saying. True.
How does
Your mic still isn't very good, Scott.
All right. Well, I tried.
I
I
can
did
understand.
my best.
It's decent.
Scott,
It's just so quiet.
I hope this isn't.
I can understand him. I have no
So who's
problem.
gonna argue triangles have more than 180 degrees? I want to hear that.
Say something about
Two-dimensional. Take a coordinate system and do it in 2 dimensions, in 2 axes, and try to get more than 180 degrees, and then do it in 3 axes, like 3-dimensional.
Yeah, honestly,
Then you can get more.
Have
Then
a triangle with less than 180 degrees.
if you overlay a triangle on a sphere, it's going to have more than 180 degrees every time. We know
You
that.
can have one that has exactly 180 degrees, one that has more, and one that has less. What's his point?
is that whatever one you measure is going to kind of determine the shape of the surface, the land.
Keep in mind, SE is not stupid.
I just guess
You guys remember that.
I just guess he doesn't know the difference between 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional.
Yeah.
The irony is strong with this curved one.
There is zero argument about this.
So tell us, a straight line, geniuses.
We didn't say the triangle was
How
made
far
out of
can a
straight
straight
lines.
line go?
SE, we
Clearly,
didn't say that
Triangles
were made.
triangles consist of 3
How far
points
can
or 3 angles.
in your brains, how far can a straight line go?
Infinitely.
Straight lines are by definition infinite.
Because
Can a straight line ever meet itself?
Yes.
Not in 2
That is not a
dimensions.
straight
no.
line. So if
Not
it's
in
a
Not in
Euclidean
2
space.
dimensions.
So,
2-dimensional.
Lale, a straight line can meet itself?
2-dimensional.
Euclidean
No.
space, but certainly on, say, spherical coordinates.
You're a bit close-minded.
Yes, it can. Look at that basketball. That line is straight
sorry,
all the way around the center of that ball.
I mean, it's curved.
So what does it become? Does it become a circle, your straight line?
Yeah.
It's still straight because it's
Yeah,
not deviating.
why not?
in the center.
It's curved. It's
You
because that,
guys are clowns.
There was a conversation about this a couple of days ago. There's the distinction between straight line, meaning perfectly like the same angle the whole time, right? Like what we intuitively think of as a straight line, versus when people talk about a straight line with the definition of shortest path between 2 points. Because on a sphere, the shortest path between 2 points is curved. It's not intuitively straight.
that's only if you restrict yourself to the
Call
surface
that
of the sphere.
geodesic, though.
If you restrict yourself to the surface of the sphere, then yes, the straight line goes around it all the way. But
In the way I'm defining straight is accurate too.
I think it's important.
Being in the center of the ball does not deviate from being in the center of the ball.
Okay, but
Therefore, it is straight.
it's important to make the distinction between that and a straight line, though, because even though it's analogous to a straight line, because it is the shortest distance between 2 points, it's when you call it a straight line, it confuses these people, and it's also inconsistent with.
Right. Like if we wanted to be precise, we'd say that the shortest line between 2 points is a geodesic. And on a sphere, if you pick 3 points and construct a triangle, then you can have the
Why is the
geodesics between
retard
those
laughing
pairs of
at this?
points
Shut
have an
up, you
angle of greater than
moron.
180 degrees. If you construct a triangle with 3 points and 3 geodesics on, say, hyperbolic geometry, you get less than 180 degrees.
A little bit of overkill here, and a little bit.
Kosho,
Listen to the retard cackle at what he's been told so far.
Kosho, what's wrong with the definition?
Hey, curved clown. How far can a straight line go?
I thought we already answered this. Are you forgetting?
Along a path.
You don't listen, SC. There's no point talking to you.
Nice dodge, Gramps. Nice dodge,
They
Gramps.
won't answer that
Which way does the
question.
Nice
skateboard
dodge,
go?
Gramps.
They won't
You
answer that
clown.
question.
Which way does the skateboard go?
Yeah. Change the subject, clown.
Which way does the skateboard go, genius?
That's the question I put to you, genius.
You know
still
why
haven't
you put
figured
that
out the
question to
skateboard
us?
paradox,
Because you're an
genius.
irreparable
Have you?
fucking
And you don't
retard.
know what a straight line is, genius, do you?
I know the difference between a straight line that's straight in every aspect and a geodesic.
And that was my point, is that people like me and Curved, Chris Lale, and others, we understand the distinction between those two. And so we, when talking to each other, can say things like straight line on Earth, and no, we're talking about geodesic. But yeah, Chris, by definition, the straight lines are defined in the other space, and they're technically not existing.
Yeah, you keep
And
talking
it's
to each
not
other
like
because
we've
you're
gone
the
to
only
great
ones
lengths
that understand
before
each other.
numerous
okay.
times to explain the difference to these people. We do understand the difference between a geodesic and a line that's straight in 2D planar geometry. We do.
No, Merle, are you still there?
Mm-hmm.
As I presume both agreed that we were being mostly reasonable earlier on. That's not the case in this discussion, is it?
Well, I think there's different definitions, like Kosho just said, and Grandpa Curved, and Lale. They're talking about geodesic measurements, definitions. I think SE and Rakia and people like Bev are coming from a different reference plane. And that's why sometimes there's miscommunication and misunderstanding between
No,
the
the question is
definitions.
SE being reasonable.
Yeah.
I think his approach sometimes is to really go for it, but I mean, Curve can hold his own. They're fine.
Well, I never want to
I realize that we can hold our own and we.
But that in no way makes SE reasonable.
Curved. What is a straight line, curved?
Oh my.
a line that does not deviate from the path that it's on, whether it's around a circle or not.
That's a curved line. If it goes in a circle.
You just described a circle.
He's asking me what a straight line is,
Curved,
Chris.
what is a
It's
straight
possible
line?
that he
Come on,
knows.
you're a genius.
What does that mean? He doesn't
You're a
know,
genius.
Chris.
I'm a genius, and I know that answer.
But I want to hear curved answer.
Curved, my answer is one that.
Lael, did you change your name?
Hey, Curve, do you accept the answer?
No,
that
Lael's in here.
Curved is scared.
He's not scared.
Curved is sick of
Your
dealing
question
with
your question is
retarded ass.
underspecified. Do you mean a geodesic or do you mean a 2D planar straight
A
line?
goddamn straight line. What is it, curved or not?
That's very simple.
A line that does not deviate from the path that it's on, whether it's a completely straight path or path around a sphere, which does not deviate, is a straight line.
Lael, once again, you failed the test. You described the circle.
Chris, when I
Sit down and
spoke
let
to the room a
curve.
minute ago, I was actually speaking to you, Chris. Okay?
Thank you for misrepresenting what I said.
I know, but Chris, I can talk to you about this in a little bit, but that's not the way you said it. There's inconsistencies in what you just said. So,
Line that does not deviate from the path that it's on.
He said whether it's a curved
Kosher, let's hear from Kosher.
Roundabout.
Let's hear from Chris.
Hey,
He's got a viewpoint too. Let's hear how his perspective is on it, Kosher. Whether he's right or wrong.
We heard from Chris.
He's repeated himself 4 times now. We don't need to hear it
We
again.
heard from
That's
Chris,
the point.
man. I don't know what I don't know why the fuck you needed to speak up just now. We heard from Chris. I was responding to him.
No. Chris was answering about the straight line from SE. We want to know if it's a straight line, is it infinite, and how does it work? Very simple.
I just said, a very simple definition. A straight line is a line that does not deviate from the path that it's on. Whether it's a straight path or a circular path, if it does not deviate, it is straight.
Chris, that's not true.
You just
Chris.
described the circle, Lael, for the 17th time.
So
Do you not understand that?
Yeah, there is a colloquial sense in which a circle is straight on a sphere.
Yeah, you can go to La La Land and think that a straight line curves. Yes.
Christ, he
But
can't
that is
answer the
pathetic.
question.
That is not.
Okay.
That
well,
is not
the
straight
issue
line
is it's not called La La Land. It's called geometry.
It's called non-Euclidean geometry. If
Yeah.
we restrict ourselves to Euclidean geometry, then obviously that definition can't be true. But if we don't restrict ourselves to Euclidean geometry, then it can be true.
You mean if we restrict ourselves to reality and then go
Nope,
to La La Land,
that's
right?
not what I said at all.
Yeah, that's exactly
SE.
what you said. You just didn't realize it.
Your decision to misinterpret what I said is dishonest, and I don't understand why you're even involved in this
The problem is,
conversation.
even in non-Euclidean geometry, it's not called a straight line. That's the issue here. The issue is that it's defined the same way a straight line is defined, by being the shortest distance between 2 points. But it's not defined as a straight line in non-Euclidean geometry. This is the problem.
So
That's
you
what I
just
said
gave
before.
two
That's why I
answers.
said when we're talking to each other, we can talk like this because we understand that. But it's important that we probably speak correctly when talking to people who are trying purposely to misunderstand this.
Yeah, try speaking correctly. Try not to be in La La Land. Try to be in 3D where we live in our reality. Yeah, try doing that, Kosho. See how that works for you.
Okay, I'll use geodesic from now on.
Kosho, I was very clear in what I said.
But the problem is, Lil, is that is not the definition of a straight line. A straight line is a line that goes in one direction forever.
Right. It doesn't deviate.
No. It goes in one direction. It doesn't follow the curve of a non-Euclidean plane. It goes in one direction forever.
Yeah, and
Somebody
it doesn't
has a
deviate.
brain in here. Wow.
It wouldn't be straight.
Just trust me.
That's why
we talked to you about this a little bit.
straight line is one that does not deviate from the path that it's on.
That's a tautology. Nothing deviates from itself.
Your
Yeah,
2D line goes in both directions infinitely.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
you
technically I was talking about array.
Yeah,
You see,
has
you
a
guys
start or an
can't
end
even
point.
define a straight freaking line. It's
The,
unbelievable.
the issue is that
They
there's a
can't even
sense in
agree
which
on a
people are
straight line.
using the word straight line to mean two different things. Some people, when they say straight line, mean only in the case of Euclidean geometry. Some people, like Kosho said, when they're talking amongst each other, will say straight line even when they mean geodesic. So the
It's
fact
not
that
every-
the word has two meanings in different contexts is confusing.
Well, let them talk amongst each other.
because,
when we talk amongst us in the real world, let's define terms.
Sure.
It's a straight line.
I think a
That's the-
reasonable definition is straight line meaning Euclidean straight line, and geodesic meaning straight lines in any arbitrary space.
Of course,
But that's doublespeak, my
No,
friend.
it's not.
A
It's
straight
not
line
doublespeak.
is a straight line.
SC.
No matter what you do, you can't change that.
You're right.
I
That's why I
see.
said for when we say straight line, we can restrict ourselves to Euclidean space, where it means what we think it means intuitively. And then when we want to talk
Okay.
about curved lines in other spaces, we can use the word geodesic. Because
Is a
that's
straight
the
line
arguably
curved?
more correct term.
There's a straight line curve.
Well, let's just not answer their questions about this shit anymore because it's
Well-
fucking
So
stupid.
you guys aren't listening.
Well,
to what
SC.
Oh, look, a straight
SC.
line
It's
is
extraordinarily stupid. It's really stupid, but you know, autism.
SC.
and whatnot.
Just answer yes or no.
when you're talking
SC and
Hey,
Radwen.
you're talking
Just really quickly, what do you think of Flashburn's image there with the cricket ball and the stitches? What would you say to the straight line? Yeah.
I
I'd
don't see any
laugh.
straight
Instead
lines.
of using a basketball, he's using that. That's what they do. Right
I don't
away,
see straight
their
lines.
brain goes to a sphere. Right
Ha!
away.
I laugh
That's how
at
they
your
do
straight
it,
line. Ha.
Merle.
See,
That's how they
Leslie,
do
why
it,
don't you
bro.
define to us how you define a straight line?
Oh my god, really? Fucking hell.
Are you fucking serious,
not
dude?
talking like
Are you
that.
serious?
So-
Are you serious? That's it. You just asked
No,
us.
what? What are you going to do?
under the
Oh,
same
no.
precise
Oh.
definitions that I
Your
vowed to
money.
hold myself to. No, a straight line doesn't curve.
I see. So how about instead of you asking us each individually to define a straight
Why
line,
did
you
that
fucking
take
do it?
so long to say no? It doesn't curve.
A straight
so
line.
here's the long
Listen
and
up.
short.
Listen up. A straight line is not a curved line.
Thank you, guys. See, that's a great answer.
What's
Here's
your
the long and the short
definition of a
it.
straight line? That's your
Straight
But
line.
listen up. An
straight line-
orange. Listen up. An orange is not a apple.
Okay, SC. You made your point and then you made a joke afterwards. That's fine.
A kangaroo is not a
All right,
deer.
SC.
We get it.
A straight
Things that aren't
line-
the same aren't the same.
A straight line of Euclidean geometry, succinctly can be defined as the shortest distance between 2 points. It has other definitions as well. Okay, that definition, though, that part of the definition satisfies what a geodesic is in non-Euclidean space. And so that's why people call geodesic straight lines, because they both share that definition. So the truth is that if there is a distinction between the two, and we're talking to people with lesser understandings of it, it might be important to make that distinction. But, like I said before, whenever we speak to other people who know what we're talking about, sometimes we exchange those words. But the truth is that those two things, they're different because they're speaking about the same thing, but in different geometries.
Negative. A straight line is a straight line. End of story.
That's it.
Okay, well then why are you asking the question if you're just gonna listen to the answer and then say no?
No, see, in spherical geometry, we speak of coordinates in longitude and latitude.
Would you mute me for, Joey, you little fanny?
I
In
didn't mute
DC
you. Somebody
Comics,
else
we speak
who
of
was
super
annoyed.
Aye, you did. You did.
I swear on my life I didn't mute you.
Oh, it was Kimo then.
Somebody else was saying
important
sweet.
Kimo, what'd you mute me for, you wee prick?
There's an important question for SE here. SE, is a circle a kind or type of a line?
A straight line is a straight line. A circle
Excuse
is a
me.
circle.
The question
Anything you
that you
say
failed to hear,
otherwise, I will laugh
SE,
at
stop.
you.
SE, stop. Is a circle a kind of line? A type of a line?
A circle is a circle.
Very profound.
Is it a type of a line? The answer
Just a
should be
curved
yes
line,
or no.
a curved line.
It's a curved line, if you want to put it
Well-
that way, yes.
Okay, so it is a line.
Not a straight line.
It is a
What's that got to
type
do
of
with
line.
the straight line?
Is it straight? curved? Is the circle line straight?
In geodesic terms, yes. If it's a great
Yeah,
circle.
but we live in reality.
Yeah, we don't live in your
geodesic
fantasy.
terms.
Okay, so a ball. Just take a basketball.
Again, with the fucking balls.
Are basketballs not part of reality?
Radwin and SC, I'm
That's
going to
their
post
go-to
something.
right away. As soon as you say a straight
Radwin.
line, right away they envision
Okay.
a basketball, a
Hang on.
mythical sphere.
Hang on.
That's what they do.
Reinforcements are coming in here, guys. Hang on, just wait a
When
second.
you're dealing with a
Check
line
this out.
on the surface
Are those
sphere,
parallel lines straight lines?
so when you're dealing
Let's get
with
real.
a line
Come on,
the
let's get real.
surface of a
They
sphere,
look like they are.
how would you define the shortest distance along the surface of the sphere between 2 points?
Through the sphere.
Right
The
away,
shortest
they go
distance
on the
along the
sphere.
surface of the
Unbelievable.
sphere.
Delusional.
They can't get away from the sphere.
There is no.
They can't.
Now,
They
go
can't,
around the
Merle.
curve
That's
on a
their
sphere.
I'm
go-to.
going to ask the sane people in the room.
You have
the
to go
same
around the curve on a
and
sphere,
is
so it's not a
Nancy.
straight line.
Why continue with this level of retardation?
So what's
Why
behind
do I
Blondie,
hate
Grandpa?
Exactly. Why are you
They're
retarded,
wrong.
Curve? Why
We
don't
know
you
they're
understand
wrong.
a straight line
Do we
is a
want to
straight line, Curve? Are
further
you
this?
are you
See,
retarded?
we've
Curve?
already covered this. When the term straight line is sometimes used to mean geodesic.
Apparently we do. We want
Emerald,
to accept
can I ask you what's behind Blondie?
we gotta raise the bar a little
Black
bit.
and white
with-
stripes.
with
Probably
how
still
to
the lines.
Continue this conversation.
Black and white stripes.
Are they straight?
I don't know.
Look
Are
like
they?
it.
I don't have my glasses.
I think you should have a word with Chemo for framing your Kosho.
Anyway, so okay, they want to avoid straight line talk, straight talk. Got to talk about curves.
I thought it was a curveball, man.
Look.
So strange.
What did you frame Kosho for? Why did you mute me?
Look, if there's a one sentence summary, it's straight lines are not
Jay,
curved.
can't even tell me
Geodesics
why.
can be, and sometimes people say straight line when they mean geodesic. Hence, it's confusing. End of story.
Good on you, Emerald. That's honest,
Any
mate.
location on Earth is given in spherical coordinates as longitude and latitude, meaning the Earth is defined as if a sphere by those coordinates. Okay?
You guys, if we're gonna have any kind of conversation at all, we should make sure we're having it with each other. So it's like, it's cool. Some of the
up,
questions
Joey.
you guys ask
Go on,
are,
But it is
ridiculous,
a
whatever.
misunderstanding, like kosher.
Bro.
It's a misunderstanding
Bro,
that's
I
gone
know,
on
but
for years.
I'm talking to you especially too
Stop
because
talking,
when Kurt was
Merle.
talking, you were asking questions during his conversation. So we guys make sure that we're asking questions to people, we're answering each other's questions, and we're actually talking to each other, and not.
But you must know by now when flat earthers are asking about straight lines, they're not talking about spherical geometry and non-Euclidean space. Like, you must know that. Don't talk over the top of me.
Of course they know that, Merle. Of course they know that.
I mean, you've been around long enough, Kosher, and you too, Grandpa. You know what's up. So stop playing your little curved game.
Are you ignoring the Euclidean geometry that includes circles? I just posted it in chat at 10:02. Why do you ignore those?
No one's ignoring it, Chris. We're
He said a straight line
that's
can be
in
a
the
circle.
Moral, your fucking jokes are older than I am.
They're
That
dumb.
must be
Trying
an
to
old
lie.
joke. That must be a really old joke then, Mel.
I'm just
It's
trying
so
to
under
confusion
underwear,
still
but
about
we
this
don't need
whole
to bring that up right
fucking
now.
curved. Fucking curved. It's your fault.
Your jokes are also dumber than Herbed.
Curved.
Get him, Lyle.
Come on, man.
Jesus Christ.
But look,
Straight lines.
So we all up to
Hard.
speed now. Everyone knows what a geodesic is, what a straight line is. and why they're sometimes confused.
You're
Yeah.
confused.
Thanks, Emerald.
We know what a
Thanks,
straight
Emerald.
line is.
Oh yeah, I do
Everybody
too.
knows what a straight line is.
You're right, I do too.
When I think of a straight line, I
you
don't
know what
think
a
of a straight
geodesic is,
line going
Essie?
around the ball.
I don't think you know the first thing about straight.
Do you think
Curve,
about
I'm
straight
still
lines
waiting for
going
your
around
answer.
the
You
ball
still
when you
haven't
think of
answered, Curve.
when somebody
You
says
still
here
haven't
level
answered.
this? Do you think this level's on a ball?
Yep.
Okay.
No.
Let me ask
No.
a question. Hold on, let me ask this then. So, a line that goes straight through the Earth to show the pole to pole, is that line straight?
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's not curving. That's a straight line.
Imagination.
Like chemo.
The
Chemo,
imagination
that,
of a ball
If you
Earth.
skewer a sphere,
Okay, take
yeah.
that
No,
straight
I'm talking to the
line now that
ballers. I'm
Chemo
asking
just
them if
dropped.
I
Hold on.
take the ball and stick a.
Take this straight line that Chemo just.
It's a diameter.
Chemo just
Big deal.
said, and you
What
guys
of it?
agreed. How
Chemo,
far would that line go?
See if you can answer Curve's question, because Curve asked them a question and they don't think heard the question. But Curve had asked them, what would you call the shortest distance between 2 points on the surface of a sphere? Your question was a little bit different. Curve's question.
Yeah, can you answer my question? I'm asking about you put a stick through the Earth or a line through.
Yeah,
the
ignore
Earth.
mine.
You would
Ignore
answer,
mine.
see, you did not ignore.
You
his
haven't
question.
answered one question.
I answered
today,
it. I
Curve.
said it's a
Not
curve.
one.
The
Chemo asked
shortest
you a
distance
question.
is called a curve.
Yeah,
Not a
we
ball.
settled that. Now, Curve, what Chemo asked you, if you draw a line from pole to pole, is that a straight line?
Diameter, it's going to be a straight line.
Now, if you extend that line, right? How far can you extend that line?
Until it meets each other.
Infinitely.
Will it meet it? Will it ever meet it itself, Curve?
Not in any reality I'm aware of.
That's what we mean by a
Very
straight
fine.
line. That's
So,
what...
Lael, did you hear that, Lael? Did you hear that, Lael?
That's fine. It's also not what we're discussing.
Yeah, that's a
Yes,
straight
I heard
line.
Curve said, I agree with Curve. That
You
line is
pigeonhole
Now,
childish
one more
fucking
question.
retards
One more
can't
question,
get it.
Curve.
We get that. We understand that you cannot get this. It scares you. You're incapable. Whatever. You piss your diaper when we talk about this.
What's scary
we
about
get it.
this?
You're
Which
the
way
one
does
that's
the
scared.
skateboard go and why?
You've got benches
You just
on top.
admitted that
Whichever
that
way
a
you
straight
push it.
line goes forever, but somehow you envision that curving.
That's the problem here.
Right?
Is your friend here, Radwin, had already said that in the geometries we're talking about, when you have the shortest distance between 2 points, he calls it a curve. And the truth is that line, the shortest distance between 2 points, will end up meeting itself if you extend it, as far as it goes. It'll end up
If you
wrapping
go
around
on your fantasy sphere, yeah.
On a ball.
But a
If you-
straight
right.
line is
The-
all
the- the only reason
around
there's-
the ball, it will touch itself. Put a
The only
string
reason
around
there's
the ball, it'll
confusion
touch
here is
itself.
because what you've decided to call a curve, when we asked, like, what do you call the shortest distance between 2 points on the surface of a sphere, some
curve.
people confusingly also call a straight line. That's the only point of confusion here.
No,
Geodesic
you're
and
the one that's confused. You think
I am,
a straight
I am
line
not
curves.
confused one bit about
Yes,
this
you are.
conversation.
Yes, you
no,
are.
I'm not.
And you're trying to speak this way
Nope.
and that way to
SE.
get away with it.
SE, none of
Bottom
us are
line,
confused.
A straight line does not
SE.
curve. End of story.
SE, none
You're
of us are
right.
confused. You're
You're
just
right,
an idiot.
SE.
And you're being dishonest and trying to misrepresent what we're saying to try to make a point when it's just fucking stupid. So we don't care about your fucking straight line anymore. We're not.
We're talking about geodesics. Do you know what a geodesic is,
Straight
SE?
line that broke the server.
We don't
Wow.
care about your straight line, SE.
Imagine a straight line causing such
Really fucking
No,
amongst
you-
adults.
arguing
It's
about
truly
straight line
amazing.
for
If it-
fucking 30 minutes.
You asked
Truly
Curved
amazing.
about the
Fuck.
straight line through the earth, and he answered your question in like 3 seconds. Like you this is literally like third grade stuff. We
Yeah,
understand
but
this.
Lael said
There
that
are no
that line will meet
rebuttals.
itself.
The
Lael
argument
said that
is not
that
going
line will
on.
meet itself.
There's nothing but bickering at this
Okay.
point. We're stating the facts. They're laughing and acting like retards. Have compassion on them if you wish.
What shape is what I just posted in the chat?
That's a
Let's see a
ruler. That's a rectangle.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's curved, Lael. I
It
mean,
might be a,
Merle.
it might
that's
be a
curved.
cylinder. I don't know.
Ball.
SE, can you please engage like the rest of us are trying to? Because you're just talking over the top of people. about
So
things
is
no
that
one's asked.
does that ruler consist of straight lines
No, it consists of line segments.
that are straight?
I
As
don't know.
far as
Probably
I can
not.
tell with my eyes, yeah, sure.
like horizontal and parallel and all that
I
good
don't
stuff?
know where
Looks
that
like it.
roller's been, so I
don't
can't
know. I didn't
comment
make
on it
it.
being
I didn't
straight.
design it to give you those answers.
appears to be made of
Wow,
Sure,
that's-
it looks
straight
more or
lines.
less straight. So what?
Yeah.
Where's this leading, Merle?
We're just looking for clarity.
Is that
Come on,
is that
Merle.
ruler conform to the surface of a sphere, Merle? No, obviously not.
What shapes do you get when you put straight lines together?
Hey, hold on. Euclid's
No,
postulates.
you hang on.
Read
You hang
postulates.
on.
When
You
I
hang
put
on.
straight lines together, I get pentagrams.
Okay, so you know straight lines make squares, right?
Or any other shape.
Or
Yeah,
triangles, or
Or
pentagons.
triangles,
Billions
What do
pentagons.
straight lines make?
You can make
What
a
do
cube
three
out of a
straight
bunch of
lines
straight
make?
lines if you're
could make an
restricting yourself.
They can even make
You can make a-
tetrahedrons.
You can make a calculator out of straight lines.
Right.
Look
Do
at
you-
Kosho's straight
the li-
lines. Wow.
Well,
We have genius in the house.
SE, I'll just paste it one more time. Do you think you could make a circle with that?
No, not me, Merle, but Lael can. He just told us before.
I would use a
Interesting.
protractor.
Protractor, okay, so I'll
Or a
drop one of them
compass.
in the chat. Yeah,
It's a
compass, protractor.
One of those two. That would give you a circle. One would
Right.
give you a hemisphere. One would give you, or a semicircle. And one would give you a circle. Perfect.
Are you talking about
Perfect.
something like this?
Okay,
Like
anybody
something
that's
like
in the
that?
extreme levels of the autism levels, you've had all your shots.
Right.
Yeah, that's a protractor. Good job.
Cool.
Now show us a
Curved.
straight line on that and show us a curved line on that. Let's see if you can
SC,
do that.
Radwin, Merle. Can you believe that Merle right here is making the best points out of the three of you right now? And he's almost not making a point.
I'm laughing
like,
at you guys.
you guys-
bro.
you
this
guys
is comical.
just
bro.
have a
You
regular
don't know what a
conversation,
straight
man.
line is, Kosho.
Let's see. Everybody fucking described a straight line except for Lael had a different definition, which we explained that that's actually a geodesic. So fucking drop it. We don't care anymore.
We've
It's
like
stupid.
gone in
It's a stupid
circles
fucking
now.
point.
Pun, I guess intended, about us knowing what straight lines are.
The straight line that broke the server.
Well, at least
Except-
we've got clarity, with each
So
other.
you're saying
That's
the
all we
globe
need.
is made up of a bunch of flats?
So wait a minute. My definition of straight line was accurate.
It wasn't. No, Lael. It was not accurate. What you described was a geodesic. It wasn't a straight line. It might be what we. Lael, stop talking. It might be what. Lael, let me finish what I'm saying. You're talking over me, Lael.
I don't care. You're talking over.
You didn't let me finish what I was saying.
Look at his own postulate, Euclid's own postulates of what a straight line is.
Because
Merle, will you read definition 3?
Lael, that's because.
No.
Where'd the message go?
Of Euclid's own postulate.
It's gone.
I think if you scroll up, I think he's got it up there too.
Does it? No, I just saw it get deleted.
There. Merle, will
Or-
you read postulate
it's also
3?
That's not a
further up.
straight line. Well, that's not a straight line on the surface of the sphere. That's
I'm deleting my posts.
I
If
can
you-
read
if-
it. I'm reading
if
it
you
right
want me
now.
to
It is
read
possible
it,
to draw a
Chris,
circle
go
having the
It's up-
segment
it's
as
up
a
a little further
radius
as well, man.
and one
Yeah, that's-
endpoint as its center. Yeah,
Flat Earthers want to delete it because it.
but that's not
Postulate
on the
3
surface
is
of the
different
sphere.
from defining a straight line proper. That's just constructing a circle from one.
Yeah, but it's still a straight line, and it constructs a circle from a straight line, which is
No.
curved.
No.
Yeah, you can
Well,
yes, you can
well, you have
construct a circle from a straight line, but that doesn't mean that the circle
The
is also a
circle
straight
is
line.
Lael, the straight line is a line segment in the middle of the circle. It's not the circle itself. It's the straight line that makes up its radius.
Chris,
It's not the same thing.
Chris, the ironic part of what we're posting right now is that the definition that you're using to describe it in non-Euclidean geometry, specifically in non-Euclidean geometry, specifically saying that it doesn't it has a different set of rules than the rules you're posting.
Like in Euclidean geometry, a straight line means exactly one thing, and that's what we all intuitively think of as a straight line, which is not changing direction at all, period.
But in navigation on Earth, we're all working in longitude and latitude.
That
Right.
has nothing to do with the curve.
Longitude and latitude are defined as a non-Euclidean system. They are spherical coordinates. So yes, it does.
Yes, spherical coordinates. And given that is what we have to tell us where we are, thus a straight line per definition belongs in that paradigm, which is non-Euclidean. You get that?
Does that make sense, Essie?
Absolutely not. People were navigating the flat Earth like 3,500 years ago. Check out the Minoan eclipse calculator. It's all assumptions. You assume right away you live on a ball.
No, Essie, we do not. We literally
You
got
grew
to
up
that
being taught you lived
conclusion.
on a ball.
Among other things, we got to that conclusion by navigating by sextant.
Nope.
And the sextant is a tool that will tell you the spherical coordinates that you're
No,
at.
it's planar.
That is incorrect.
Incorrect.
It's
Incorrect.
It's incorrect. Can I play sound effects in here like I can in the other server? 'Cause I want to play the Gong Show. I want to play all kinds of stuff in here.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's actually planar. So
How is
Every
it
time you get a
planar?
wrong answer, I'm gonna go.
Longitude and latitude.
Do that twice and see.
you have to
Has
line it
anybody
up.
heard of the Minoan eclipse calculator here?
You have to line
talked
it.
about it before.
So you have to line it up with the horizon to get your tangent line,
And that does what?
and that does what?
It has to be level. I would agree. You level out the sextant. If you're using it on land, you don't use the horizon. You use level.
And you can use the horizon as well.
Yeah.
When they're at sea, what do you think they pointed at?
At the horizon, because
Right.
it's a ship. It's going to be wobbling around.
Right. They find the horizontal and then plot their coordinates from there.
Yes, and you have a little almanac that basically fixes that little issue. It's accurate within a nautical mile. Did you know that? And it's going to give your location in spherical coordinates, longitude and latitude.
I mean, listen, I understand the argument. If the Earth's a sphere, the reference point then is non-Euclidean space. I understand what you guys are saying. I've been around long enough to know the arguments, but what's also demonstrated in reality, like engineering and building and just even drawing, you have straight lines. Like there's Euclidean space as well, planar, and that's what most people just let go of the globe reference. Sometimes it's not a gotcha. It's just there is a difference between a curved line and a straight line. That's all. It's not.
There's a difference.
It's not about winning here always. It's just a basic thing.
No, well, I'd agree there's a difference because I've done technical drawings of building shit. So yes, obviously I'm not gonna draw a line that curves 8 inches to the mile to get my floor level, right? I'm gonna draw freaking straight, and that's what it's gonna
Word.
be.
Yeah,
right?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not navigation. That's a building. The concrete layers, they're accurate if they get the zip code right. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate what you're saying. I do.
It's not gonna be, to the micrometer. It's gonna be level-ish within the zip code. Okay?
Can I ask you one last thing, and then I really got to go. Can you hear Radwin's and Essie's? Just all this aside, they're just making a basic point. That's why they get a little bit frustrated sometimes, because to them it's just obvious,
He's not being frustrated.
Their basic point is that they don't have the mathematical background, and they want to obfuscate the people that do. That's their point, and that's all I hear.
Who doesn't have a mathematical background?
SE.
Oh, that's what I do for a living.
You're a math major?
No, I don't need to be. I'm an engineer.
What kind of engineer are you?
What does it matter? Mechanical.
I'm just asking. Mechanical?
Mhm.
Okay. Do you
He
use
just
gravity?
told you he knows math.
No, I design
There it
networks.
is.
I design networks.
What kind of networks?
Ooh.
IIoT.
Is that like a computer network?
I just told you what it is.
Maybe you want to know his
never
favorite
heard of that
color?
before.
Industrial
Ask him his
Internet
favorite
of
color now.
Things,
Ooh.
where all the machines talk to each other.
Okay, so it's a computer network. Okay.
Right. So, Radwin, from your extensive mathematical background, you do understand spherical geometry, then?
Sure.
You're not asking for
Here's
the
your
ball,
sextant.
you're asking spherical geometry. You get that?
Yes, the stars change. We had to make new star maps every couple hundred years because
They
fucking
never
move.
change.
Yes, they do. Yes,
Nope.
they do. Yes, they
Not
do.
even close.
Polaris was 3 degrees off north 500 years ago, and now it's about 45 minutes off north. Why is that? Because
You
they
are
fucking
wrong.
moved.
Yeah. But Andy, that wasn't the question. The question was, does he understand the concept of spherical geometry?
Yes, I do. Why does that matter?
Well, why are you arguing like that then? Why are you
I'm
going back
telling you,
to
you measure water and it's flat. Long distance photographs it's flat, okay? So you can't get a curve out of something that's flat, can you? If it's flat, how many flats are in the ball then? Tell me how many flats there are and why you don't see them from your pictures from space.
Radwin, don't raise your voice. You're not getting a point through here. What you're saying is you do understand the math that is spherical geometry, right?
Yeah.
You understand that arbitrarily from it being a globe or a flat Earth, a sphere would be, measured by spherical geometry. You understand that, right?
Yes.
Yes. So why are you jumping on
I don't
Essie's
use
which is basically not understanding that a whole lot and laughing at people that do?
You can believe in the ball in space all you want. It doesn't make it real. That's what I'm laughing at.
You cannot believe in it, and that doesn't make it that the flat
But it
Earth
measures
real.
flat.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
Said
it does.
made
No, it doesn't.
any way to Earth. Everybody was talking about baseballs and all kinds of bullshit. There was no Earth involved. Why are you jumping on Essie's point that spherical geometry is magic that nobody understands?
Show me how you measured the radius of the Earth, and I'll believe you.
Nobody said Earth. There was a baseball and a cricket ball and some shit.
Well, that's not
Nobody
what this
said
room is
Earth.
about, so we're not going to talk about that.
Radwin,
We'll move on to
Radwin,
Earth.
Radwin, I have a question for you.
Addressing spherical geometry. Do you or do you not understand spherical geometry?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Radwin, would you agree that there are some measurements that we make that we need to perform calculations in order to get the measurement that we're looking for?
Like what? What's your example?
Like pressure.
What about pressure?
Pressure. Do we need to perform? Are there calculations involved in order to design an accurate pressure gauge so that it reads accurately?
Sure.
Okay, so
you got to have a container to do that.
I don't care about the container
I do.
right now. So, Radwin, would you say that in order to measure the surface of the Earth, it would be acceptable to take measurements of different things and then use math to determine what the radius of the Earth?
No.
That sounds like magic to me.
You disagreed to my point that you need calculations to make sure that you are measuring pressure properly. Why is that any different for the surface of the Earth?
Say that again.
So we need to
text message.
We need calculations to make certain measurements, because either the measurement we're looking for isn't directly measurable because we don't have tools that are big enough, or it's more of a abstract thing that we need to know spring constants or understand certain geometries in order to get the measurement that we're looking for, right?
We should be able to go out and measure the radius of the Earth with a friend, and that's all it should take to verify it, so that when rockets go up, they don't crash or they don't go on forever, so they know how to orbit the magical ball. I want the radius, and that's all I'm asking for, and how you measured it.
Okay, so How do you propose taking a direct measurement of the radius of the Earth?
You tell me. You guys measured it.
Well, the only way I can think of would be drilling down to the core, which is impossible
8
because
miles.
the pressures and the temperatures involved would break down any known material that we have. So, no, I don't think it's possible to take a direct measurement of the surface or the radius of the Earth.
Then there
I
probably
believe
isn't one.
No, Redwin, that doesn't make any sense because
One way we could measure
Well,
it.
Radwin, you've already said that for pressure, right?
Oh, hold on,
To get an
mate.
accurate reading, we might need to make
Stop going
calculations.
back and forth.
Now, one way we could measure the circumference that would basically give us the radius, right? Would be we could go to the equator on the equinox, and we could have people set up every mile with a little measuring thing to tell us when the sun were above them. And we would get that the sun basically moves 69 miles to the degree. That is basically whenever it's 1 degree off where it started, it's going to be 69 miles away, directly above, so there's no refraction or anything else moving it around. And if you know that, then there is 360 degrees around because the sun doesn't go away. And there you have it.
There you go. Go do the experiment.
It's called Eratosthenes. It's kind of been done.
Oh.
I advanced it ever so slightly by communicating points and all that, but yeah.
But you can also do that around each
So we're
latitude.
astronauts are relying on a stick and a shadow.
Oh.
Probably we did it a little better since, but the interesting
Okay,
thing
can I see those numbers and where they got them from?
that is one way, right? You see, what we do
Don't
then...
just say maybe they did something and it could be this. Just show it.
They
Radwin.
have live streams of people doing it.
Radwin, to orbit, you don't need to know the radius of something. You need to know how massive it is. And once you achieve a speed, that'll put you at a certain orbit. We know this. This is how orbital mechanics work.
So we know that.
Yep.
You don't need to know size of it or anything.
Don't you also need to know the gravitational force on the Earth to be able to design something powerful enough to break the gravitational force?
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yep.
So that's two imaginary things.
Well, I mean,
Two imaginary things do not make a real thing.
So if
Unless you multiply.
Even if you multiply by 0, you still get 0.
No, not by 0. I was making a complex number joke. Sorry.
And I simplified it for you.
Together, you get a real number.
say like we took and someone could jump off a 100-foot building without dying when they hit the ground, okay? We could measure the time it takes them to land on the ground. Okay? We can measure that time. And then we could divide it by the height of the building and get a pretty accurate measurement of the acceleration downwards. And that acceleration downwards should pretty much match the 9.8 meters per second squared. And that is what we are calling gravity.
Right, when here's
even though it's not a force.
Yeah, that's right. Here's a
whatever, but it's still acceleration.
There you go.
I want to know how you
Even
got a
though-
fucking
even though it
mechanical
has no
engineering
effect
degree.
on anything?
How the fuck did you get a mechanical engineering degree without believing in gravity?
It's a great question.
You don't need to believe in gravity to get a correct
Oh my
answer. You just
God.
memorize.
Radwin, there's a link to that's people doing that experiment, the test, measuring the Earth and the equinox.
You guys aren't questioning his credentials, are you?
It kind of, yeah.
Care.
You-
I
Why?
I believe that he got a mechanical engineering degree, but I don't know how he made it through getting a mechanical engineering degree without actually believing.
I told
in
you
gravity.
how you do it.
I think it's bullshit.
You
No, I
study
think
and
you're.
you give the correct answer, and then you get a degree.
Yep.
The interesting question here